here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's 5,000, 50,000, or 500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hidden Loop. That's United Forte, Forte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training, they'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Might be in tomorrow. Got Keon Rose in today. Got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harbin Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Today is ticket giveaway day, as well as being Wednesday. Got ASU baseball tickets to give away. For Tuesday, November 6th, it is ASU versus Idaho State. I also got some Phoenix Raceway tickets to give away for next week for Friday's Truck Series Championship and then for Saturday's Xfinity Series Championship. So be listening for your chance to win. I'm going to try to give away tickets every hour today because tomorrow we're just too damn busy. We can't be bothered. We are too damn busy. There's just enough time for picks. There's enough time for fantasy football questions. And after that, we're just too damn busy.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Friday, we got nothing but time. Friday is just nothing. I mean, the only thing we have scheduled for Friday ever is two things. One, Keon Rose's college football dance party. And two, all the ways that the super fans of the Fourth Dimension are going to try to distract us and, just say weird stuff. That's the way that works. That is what we're looking at. So today is ticket day. Friday probably be ticket day as well. Today is a bad day. Oh, good God.
Wait, what happened today?
It's not what happened. It's just what it is.
What
bad day.
What is it?
It's National Candy Corn Day. Oh,
that's fair.
The only person on this entire planet that I know who likes candy corn is the Berg. The Berg has no taste. He hates mustard, loves candy corn. Can't figure it out. I mean, I get it.
That's curious.
Maybe not liking mustard, but the whole loving candy corn thing. Blah. I tried to love candy corn as a child. See, remember, I've told the story before where I've learned to like things other people don't like because I was one of 4 kids and, liking the things they didn't like meant I got to eat more. So I was always like, hey, give me some of that. I love me some crust off the pizza. Ooh, give me some of that crust off the bread. I'll take the heel. I don't even care. They come the candy corn. I'm like, you go F yourself. I don't want that. Because I tried. I was like, Why would you make who put this under the heading candy?
I did used to like candy corn when I was a kid growing up, but that's also because my parents didn't let us have a lot of candy. So
It's the closest thing to candy you could get.
at a certain point, it was going to work. It had sugar in it. It was going to work. Then I got older, and I had other candy options.
Yeah,
and guess what?
You
just
wrong.
drop candy corn out of the rotation.
Yep.
You don't need it anymore. I can eat chocolate.
I remember just sitting there chewing on some wax lips. Remember those things? That's not candy. That's just nasty. What
What is that?
I tried. I gave it a shot. Fish Tank says if you love candy corn, you should be put on a watch list. Berg should be on a watch list. You're not wrong. On that by itself, he should be on a watch list. But yeah, candy corn day every year. I don't know why. I think 1 pound would be enough, but they sell 35 million pounds of candy corn worldwide.
And I'm guessing that they throw away at least 34 million pounds of candy corn.
It has to be more than that because nobody likes it. 9 billion pieces of candy corn.
I mean, you say more than that, but like I'm trying to account for Berg and the people like Berg who do like candy corn. There has to be enough of them that like somebody's eating it whilst when they sell it.
I don't know. It's like because people are mean and they were like, here's some candy.
Here's a good prank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of like fruitcake.
If you want to teach the neighborhood children about disappointment,
Mm.
like when you're 5 and you've just never encountered anything else before, then candy corn works for you.
People eat candy corn different ways too, you know. 57% of candy corn fans eat the whole piece, one bite. 28% start with the narrow little white tip, just a tip. And then 15% begin with the whiter yellow end. It's just so small and it's nasty.
Just if you're going to eat the whole thing, just eat the whole thing. What?
The only interesting thing I know about candy corn is if you stack it pointy side in a circle, you start to stack it up, it will actually look like an ear of corn. That's what it was designed to look like. I'm like, well, that's cool because you can't eat the crap. Might as well have an art project.
Might as well be a decoration.
Yeah, so nasty. Why would you do that? What's this? Chosen One. Yep, there it is. That's what I was talking about, Chosen One. He sent a picture of exactly what I'm talking about. Then you go ahead and check this on the text line, then turn it off so it doesn't screw things up. But it shows when you stack it up, it will look like corn on the cob or the most angry sphincter you've ever seen. Both really apply here.
That is concerning, but okay.
ASU Buddy says, Keon, did you eat the wax candy when you were a kid?
Yeah, mostly because like when I would go to school for Halloween,
chewed on, nobody ate it.
We ever, the kids swapped candy and I never really swapped candy. My parents were A, not big on candy, and B, not very big on Halloween. I was really not allowed to celebrate. So like any candy I came across around this time of year as a child, right down the hatch. And also I still kind of do. My stomach is more or less a garbage compactor at this point. I just throw whatever.
Yeah, left to my own devices, my grocery cart will look like a fifth grader was like. It's like the kid from Home Alone went shopping on his own. That's what it looks like for me. So I'm sure it's going to look like that for most dudes.
So
Quiet Cannon says candy corn doesn't taste like candy. Doesn't taste like corn. It's terrible, and it's spelled wrong. Top everything off. Well, how should you spell it? I don't understand. Is there like a fit? Just candy and corn. What do you think it should be spelled like? P-O-O-P? I think it should be spelled P-E-O-P-P. P-O-P-P. I don't know. Well, that's P-O-O-P. P-O-O. Poo-poo. I don't know. Silver Prop says candy corn is equivalent to government cheese. Not true. I have had some semi-edible things with the government cheese. I've never had anything edible with a candy corn piece. That's the noise a candy corn makes right before it hits the garbage. Robert from Surprise says, sorry, tuned in a little late. When is Randy coming back? I don't know. When he feels like it. He's tired of you asking. He wants you to mind your own damn business. But he thanks you for your concern. And he says he loves you. Not in a romantic way. But you know the way.
That does sound like a thing Randy would say.
Randy's way, not the way you wish. I'm just saying. He loves you. He's just not in love with you. Do you understand what I'm saying right now, Robert from Surprise? You're making this awkward for everybody. Have a little dignity. Moist one says, free candy? No, thanks. Freak handy? Yes, please.
I mean,
Bullseye says, did you say you're giving away ASU football tickets? No, not yet. No, I got ASU baseball tickets, and I got the Raceway tickets for next week. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. He says, yeah, about the Yankees, about the Dodgers. Why are you even talking about this, George? We don't talk about the World Series here. It's really not existing in our opinion, just kind of doing other things, Although, we will talk about the two knuckleheads. We'll talk about that. Also, the worst thing that happened at that game, please understand, I did not watch it. I only read about this. Reading about it was enough. Watching the video, even worse. So, yeah, you go to the game, right? Let's say you're a Yankee fan, and you're like, hey, you suck, Freddie Freeman. You're like, okay, that's fair. I've yelled things out. Mm-hmm. I yelled, no means no, at Kobe Bryant when he was playing the Suns here. Me and my son had a good time doing that, and I got threatened to be stabbed by a Laker fan, and she was mad. So I yelled and shamed Luis Gonzalez for not hustling on a ground ball. I'm like, what are you doing, man? And he kind of turned around and looked. He's like, yeah, I know. It was late in his career. I probably could have given him a break, but I am prone to yelling things if I am at a sporting event. I don't think I would yell, you suck, Freddie, during the stand up for cancer moment. Ooh. This is the exact moment he's holding a thing. Guess what it says on his placard? It's mom. Uh-oh. So he's honoring his mom, and you hear, you suck, Freeman, in the background.
There's a time and place. You were in the right place. That was not the right time.
I feel like that's the worst thing. It's worse than those two knuckleheads.
Especially since they do that at the beginning of the game. The two knuckleheads, the excuse could just be, we were hammered. I'm sorry. You couldn't possibly be drunk enough. That's just you being an a-hole.
Just stand up for cancer night. And we're looking at bed. You suck, Freeman. It's like, dude, my mom had cancer. What the hell? So that was worse than those two knuckleheads.
Yeah, I can see that.
By the way, those two knuckleheads I'm talking about, we did mention yesterday because it came up on our feeds. A couple of guys are up there, and old Mookie Betts comes back trying to get a ball, catches the ball. He caught the ball. And then as his hand is there, these two guys start trying to pry the ball out of his hand like you pry a tennis ball out of a dog's mouth. And they're like not letting go.
And one guy was trying to take the glove.
Right. And the other guy was, at first he was trying to get the ball out. Mm-hmm. Then after that, he was trying to take the glove. The other guy was trying to keep Mookie Betts' hand from trying to pull his other hand down. It was bad. It was dumb. It was stupid. It was just all those things. And, so I guess they got the out. So the game wasn't really affected by that at that moment. I think. I mean, if you catch the out, that's it, right? There was no other play to be made. If he had caught the ball,
if there was somebody, if somebody was on base at the time, which I don't recall, then yeah, he would have had to have been able to make that throw or at least enter the field of play so that he could hold the guy.
Right. Was there a guy? Base. Was there a guy on base? Somebody let us know. No guy on base, then fine. It's over, whatever. Throw those two knuckleheads out of the stadium. But if there was something going on and that's fan interference, well, then, I guess the umpire has to figure it out from there. It was just really dumb. And by the way, so you see Rob Gronkowski was on a show and he's like, hey, turns out, wait a minute, I know that guy. Rob Gronkowski went to college with the main guy who was trying to take the ball out of the guy's glove. He was on Up and Adams with, I guess, what's her name? Amy Adams, whatever. And he was like, oh my God, he was a hockey player. He's like, from Arizona. What a surprise. This guy is like 10 times an a-hole. One, now I know he's UA. Also, he's a Yankees fan. Right away, there's issues. And now he's just a guy that Gronk says, "Oh yeah, he's he's what did he say? The way he referred to him, he said he was what did he say? He was sweet or something. He used a term for him where you're like, what? He was like he was amazing. What was it? Started with an S. God dang it. Yeah, I don't have it on my sheet here, but he's like, yeah, that guy is all in for his teams. He is all in for the Yankees. But then he said, kind of backtrack a little bit. He was like, Bo, it's inappropriate. You shouldn't do that. No, nobody should do that. He says, Bo, but God, this guy, he's a maniac, and he was my friend in college.
He said he's a beauty.
A beauty.
I just want to say congratulations.
Very Boston thing to say.
For shining when your moment came.
Yeah, he did give mixed signals on this.
Because I think deep down inside he thought it was funny and cool, but also he knew kind of a few seconds after he said it that he probably should not celebrate that as funny and cool.
Nobody's mad. Nobody's mad at Rob Gronkowski.
No.
UBU is what he was saying, and that's what we expect. But a-hole move on those guys. I mean, could have injured Mookie Betts.
Yeah, I mean, they had his arm good.
Yeah, it could have had an impact on the game. It could have pulled a muscle because he was tug-of-warring with these guys, right?
Yeah, especially once his feet land. The guy, I'm looking at the video right now. The guy is just yanking on the glove, and then the other guy reaches back, and it's just ridiculous. But also, nobody was on base there, so that's
good.
Yeah.
Well, these guys are even like, yeah, we talked about this before. If we ever had our chance, this is exactly what we would do. We fantasize about this. If it ever came up right here, I would grab the glove. So they premeditated.
That's the thing. It's like I am trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe you got there, you just got liquored up. The ball was there. Oh, wow! I can't believe you've got a chance to affect this play, and then you just do. You planned this. I hate you both. I hate both of you.
Probably for years they've been talking about, if I ever got my chance on this is what I would do. And he's like, I know I'm in the wrong. And as soon as I did it, I'm like, boys, I'm out of here. And he's like, I patrol that wall. They know that. No, they don't. They don't know you're expecting to do this and hoping that this would happen. They're just playing the damn game of baseball.
They don't think about you at all.
Yeah, not realizing you think it's okay to physically assault them as they play that game. That was assault, by the way. Nobody is elevating it to that. So these guys got ejected, but they were told by the Yankees staff, it's okay, you can come back for game 5. Then the Major League Baseball is like, we kind of want them to not come back.
You can what? No.
Yeah. You can't. No, and then the Yankees were like, oh, yeah, by the way, you can't come back. So now the guy who did it, he's like, well, I hope they don't take away my season tickets for this.
They might. If Major League Baseball wants the Yankees to take away your season tickets, they're gone. If Major League Baseball wants to say you are not welcome at any Major League Baseball facility, it doesn't matter what the Yankees want, you're done.
Well, let's break it down, though. Do we really want to see this elevated to those guys not being allowed to sit there anymore?
I don't know if that's what I want, but I do know that a lot of players would feel a whole lot more comfortable knowing that fans would have to think twice and not premeditate grabbing your arm in the middle of a play.
Here's what I would do if I was the Yankees. I say, listen, we get it. You are an enthusiastic fan, but we're going to move you back a few rows. We're going to move you back a few rows, and you're never allowed to be at that level again. The section behind it. I don't know, 10 rows back. You can't be closer than 10 rows or something.
Yeah. I mean,
you can still sit in that area. You can still have season tickets. You're just not allowed to be in a position where you could interfere with play.
Yeah, I mean, that might be understandable. I do think the argument for them not ever coming back would be that they premeditated this. Like, I would never have said that out loud.
We've been dreaming of this.
If you were just drunk, all right, we'll move you back some rows.
We're going to D up. Oh, my God.
They plan to do that. That makes this worse to me.
This
makes this so much worse to me.
No, we're not going out of our way to attack. He says, we always joked about this.
But then you did it.
Well, yeah, we're going to D up.
Yeah. So. Then we saw the ball, and the thing we were joking about, we just decided to actually do.
I mean, give them credit. they did, they did not shut up. They put up.
Yeah,
they did put up.
No, I don't give them credit for that. If you do something stupid, you do not get credit for being stupid just because you put your money where your mouth is and your mouth was saying dumb nonsense.
I'm just saying.
I don't give you credit for that. Personally,
I do. I'll give them credit. I mean, it's credit. It's dumb credit. It's just like
I don't have a dumb credit
many people
option.
Say things and then they don't do those things. No, absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Should never have. But part of me is kind of like, I'll have a drink to that.
All right. I don't have that section of my credit meter. My credit meter is to people who
get you nothing. But you're still tip of the hat.
Yeah, not even a tip of the hat.
Not the direction I'd go,
but simply do not respect you.
And I think that's where Rob Gronkowski was with this. Oh, this guy's
I think so too.
Like wrong, shouldn't do it. But hey,
I think
he committed to the bit.
And while I could appreciate commitment, if you commit to dumbassery, you're a dumbass, and I do not respect you.
Oh, the dude is totally a dumbass. We've already established that he's a graduate. I mean, we assume graduate. He went to Arizona.
What I'll drink to is not knowing you personally.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to know these guys. You know who this reminds me of? You ever watch What We Do in the Shadows?
I need to.
This guy, it reminds me of the neighbor that Laszlo likes to hang out with. If you have seen the show, that rings so true. If you've seen the clip and you see the guy in the show, absolutely the vampire's next door neighbor. I guarantee you, if you've seen the show, you're all for this. Got a bunch of texts on the text line wanting to chime in on this, and we'll get to that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
The Arizona Cardinals hosting the Chicago Bears on Sunday in Glendale, Arizona, in a three-way tie for first in the NFC West, but at 4-4. Well, the Bears are 4-3. They're coming off a heartbreak loss to Washington, losing on a Hail Mary. Arizona is a 1-point home favorite, -115 on the money line. The Bears at -105. The over-under is at 44.5. NBA, the Phoenix Suns will be in Los Angeles to take on the Clippers on Thursday night. Phoenix at 3-1 on the season. They're coming off a victory against the Los Angeles Lakers on Monday, winning 109-105. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games. Plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
There's a wolf on the loose in Arizona. Its name is Ruben Gallego. Ruben's got quite a body count, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Ask his ex-wife. He left her for a DC lobbyist. She got pregnant, and he divorced her just days before she was due. Ask anyone who's done business with Ruben, from the immigrants he swindled out of their life savings to that ambulance company he helped run. You know, the one that filed for bankruptcy and had to pay $2.8 billion for Medicare fraud when he left. Or you can ask grieving families. After a mass shooting, Gallego told them, "F your prayers." He also said he would have killed American protesters on January 6th. Well, now he's coming for you. Gallego wants to unlock your borders to violence, drugs, and sex trafficking. He voted in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi. He wants to vote that way again for Kamala. You can't let that happen. Don't be his next victim. Stand up and say hell no to Ruben Gallego.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I know, right, Moldy Tuna Fish? That goes both ways, man. He says, wow, by the sound of things from that commercial, Ruben Gallego sounds like Tom Brady, Brett Favre, and Robert Kraft all wrapped up in one person.
Yeah. My favorite part of the commercial is when he goes, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. And I'm like, that's just a wolf. That's just.
Yeah. Well, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Still wolf.
Yeah. That just seems repetitive at that point.
None of these people are as bad as the ads make them sound, but there's also probably a little bit of truth to the ads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
going both directions. But here's the one thing I gotta say. I heard this. There's this one commercial about Carrie Lake, and they're like, she lies. Everything she says is a lie. I'm like, I don't think she's at Starbucks saying, I'll have a coffee. In her head, she's like, that's not what I want. And I'm lying right now. God, why can't I tell the truth? Not everything a human being says is a lie.
And it's also the reverse is true. Like everything that has been accomplished by these politicians in these ads, exaggerated, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Some truth, but also, you know, you're not the greatest leader ever.
Here's what it all boils down to. Don't focus on how bad they think Ruben Gallego is. Don't focus on how bad the other people think Carrie Lake is. Let's focus on how bad we are as human beings, that we can't come up with better people. The end. Moving on. That's as political as we're going to get. 888-368-1580. King of Kitten says, I purchased 2 big bags of good chocolate candy last week for an employee going away party. He was gone in one afternoon. Yeah. I hear you. And by the way, that chocolate's expensive. I had a friend of mine say, hey, because I posted on Twitter and I'm like, look at the prices, like $25 for just one bag of Halloween candy. And I was like, yeah, Porch Light's going to be off this year. And he's like, hey, no, give him this. And he's like, bags of Hall's cough drops are like $2. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good point. You start dropping stuff in there. They're like, oh, it's candy. You just drop some candy. No, I'm dropping cough drops in there. And it's way cheaper. They'll never know it was me.
At that point, I think you should just not give them candy. Do you know how disappointed those kids are going to be when they get home and realize half of their candy haul is Halls?
Makes me giggle.
That's true. You specifically would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. Hey, listen, this has been the house that's given away giant handfuls of chocolate candy. Why? Because not that many kids come down our street. Our street, I think, must look scary or something, because we end up with tons left over to where I'm like handfuls of candy. So the kids are like, oh, we love you guys. You know, it was just like, oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I could just be sitting in there with the lights off watching football. Although not like Thursday night's football is worth watching.
That's the other aspect of it right there. But yeah, no, I think there are some kids that are like, there's this house. Like you're the house that they don't want to tell the other kids about because they want all that candy. It's like, if you go down this street, nobody else goes there. But I'm telling you, the candy is crazy.
It's my birthday, so I can do what I want.
And they're getting cough drops this year, and
lights will be off. This is the first time in probably 10 years that I've just been like, nah, to hell with these kids. This day is going to be for me.
All right, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. F them kids. It's either that or cough drops.
It's either that or cough drops. I'm just saying better to just not do it. At that point.
Even her own kid, she's going to another neighborhood. She's like, oh, to hell with this place. I'm going to go where the rich people give out candy. You know?
That's true.
Well, that's hit and miss. Rich people can be very stingy, or they can be very generous. There's like no in between in those neighborhoods. You're like, wow, a scholarship. And then the other one is like, wow, a Werther's Original with a lint on it. Yeah, thank you. Let's see here. Silver Pop says, is the Daily Blender load managing Randy? Yeah, we're getting ready for the playoffs. We want to make sure he's fresh.
Yeah, he's our Joel Embiid.
Golden Domer says, I know where Randy is. Check closely on the replay of the two knuckleheads. I think he's sitting right next to him. Randy has better taste than to go to a Yankees game. Fish Tank says, yeah, you give those knuckleheads the season tickets in the third deck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep them away from stuff where they can't hurt nothing.
You can watch baseball, but you will never watch baseball like that ever again.
Robert from Surprise wants to go farther. He says, an idiot fan is an idiot fan, no matter what team. They need to be banned from baseball.
Because someone else will buy those tickets.
I don't know, banned from baseball. These guys are idiots. And I don't know that they meant like harm, but
the thing is, you're setting a precedent, because if you
they weren't punching Mookie Betts.
They weren't punching him, but
they didn't snot rocket in his face or anything.
But what if the next one does?
Well, then you ban that guy.
Well, yeah, but like you can prevent that guy. If that guy has to think about, boy, I could lose my seats. That you might prevent it from happening.
Yeah, I'm just saying, move him back, but I don't know if you need to ban him. It needs to be a learning moment for everybody.
I don't think that they're adults. No, there's nothing to learn here. Those are grown ass adults.
I didn't know you couldn't grab a player if they came up into the.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
There's no. This doesn't need to be a learning moment for some grown ass men. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not one that's saying ban them, but also if they were banned, I wouldn't be like, that's too much. You took that risk.
I would never do it.
When you put your hands on somebody who did not consent to you doing that.
So you want to get him for sexual assault?
No, just regular assault.
No, they tried to assault his stranger, if you know what I mean. What if they'd hurt the stranger? Robert from Surprise also says, if that was the Diamondbacks filter, the story would be completely different. Yes, because if you mess with the Diamondbacks filter, left filter, right filter, any air filter,
center filter,
oil filter, any filters at all, now I'm losing my bleep, man. You really got to work on the voice text. But I'll give you the other text you sent that I haven't read yet. He says, I've seen fans swat at balls. Hello. Reach over for a ball, but I've never seen a van trying to take the hand off a player while it's still in the glove. Yeah, that is a new one. I think mostly because nobody's ever had the opportunity. That was a perfect moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still wrong.
But the thing is, that's that Yankee Stadium, that right porch over there. The fans are in that building in particular more able to do that than anywhere else because of how low and close to the field of play it is.
I'm pretty sure that guy would have had his wallet too. Bullseye says, did you see the one Florida fan who said he was going to eat dog poop if Florida lost a college football game? He's disappeared from Twitter. But another guy made the same bet, and he actually took video of himself eating dog poop. And that's what I call putting up. Not shutting up.
I think the smart thing to do would be like the first guy and just disappear.
I just disappeared.
Because
social media is not real.
Like, to me, I do not have respect for you if you even make that bet in the first place. And I would not have less respect for you for not following through.
Right.
I don't want to see a person eat poop.
Why do you volunteer that? I'll eat dog poop. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you.
Nobody
dog poop. Are you sure? Maybe something else. Nope, dog poop.
Nobody cared about what your opinion was until you attached the fact that you would eat feces to it. That's crazy.
Like you kind of wanted to eat feces.
You wanted to. You
made
an
wonder what
excuse.
that tastes like.
And the guy that disappeared just shot his mouth off. He didn't actually want to.
That is two different people. That you are a couple different kinds of a freak. The other guy shooting his mouth off. Absolutely right. Moldy Tuna Fish says, wow, by the sound of things from that commercial. Oh, I read that. Seabass says, breaker, blender crew. Do you read me? Yes, I do. Loud and clear. He says, I heard my Carolina Panthers are going back to Bryce Young this week, despite Andy Dalton being healthy. Is this the right move? No.
Okay, what is the right move for the Panthers? Right move. Exactly. Every move you make
you
is
are the
wrong.
Colts.
You are worse than the Colts.
Well, they're worse than the Colts, but the same situation with quarterback, right?
You've got a veteran quarterback who can run the offense better, but you've got a young guy who needs to learn somehow. And the question of, is it better that he learned on the bench, or is it better that he actually learned out in the field of play? Where the Panthers situation is very different from the Colts situation is they were never just at quarterback. The best quarterback play is not making that team a playoff team.
Well, they don't even have that. Big George says, Jeffrey, giving people halls, that's how you get your house TP'd and egged. Yeah, but only if they catch me. If I'm just like, I'll never know.
That's true. Like they'll pull open the bag of candy, and then you got to figure out which house was it that gave us the halls. Because
no, I'm hosed if I'm house number one, yes, but I don't have enough kids who live close enough to me to where I could possibly be house number one. I think I'm safe. Killer Rabbit says Jeffrey's handing out drugs tomorrow, huh? What's your address again? I don't think you can really call halls. I mean, I'm not even going menthol.
Drops.
Yeah,
cough drops aren't drugs.
I'm sticking fruit. I'm not doing menthol. Latina Leprechaun says, last year at least, we had the Diamondbacks in the World Series to watch on Halloween. We don't even have that this year. Well, thank you for reminding us. We were doing all right. Then you had to bring us all down. Mr. Roboto says, trick or treat. It's a great time to offload surplus ketchup packets, salsa packets. Any condiments will do. Kids always go for the in and out, they love that ketchup before the generic. Yeah. Even the generic at least says fancy on it, doesn't it? It's fancy ketchup. Doesn't feel fancy.
It does not, no.
Moist One says, if it was Diamondbacks versus Yankees, you wouldn't try to help your team? Okay, in reality, no.
No.
I'm not touching the professional baseball player. If he jumps over and he's trying to grab it, even if he lands in my lap, I'm not interfering with the play, because the bad result of that is you could be worse than if you
just let it
had
happen.
done something, had not done nothing.
Yeah, like if I'm there and the ball's there, and I'll try to catch the ball. But what I'm not going to do is try and pry the ball out of the glove of the opposing player and then try to pry the glove off of the opposing player. That there's no reason to do that. That you are not helping the team at that point.
Killer Rabbit, damn well this isn't a rerun. He's like, is this a rerun? Bryce just lost to the Broncos. And we were just talking about a Halloween. Why, did this happen last year? Bryce Young wasn't even around last year, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was a rookie last year.
Oh, this Killer Rabbit. This probably is a rerun. Pierre. Oh, let's see. I got to hit the translate thing. I'll come back around to you. Silver Pop says it's the Yankees and the Dodgers. Who cares? At this point, I want to hear you talk about fantasy football. Oh, no, we'll probably do that too. Robert from Surprise says, yeah, Siri gets me. You can't trust Siri. And listen, can I just give everybody who's listening some advice? I am glad if you are driving, at the very minimum, you're doing voice text. You shouldn't be texting and driving as it is, because any part of that can be a distraction. But if you're not going to listen to me about that, at least make sure that when you do your voice text, you speak very clearly and very methodically, and make sure you are enunciating when you say stuff. Like when you have Siri, what I don't know what your command is, record me talking, and you're like, an idiot fan is an idiot fan. You make sure you are enunciating clearly, even like annoying to yourself, because you want to make sure if you're going through this trouble anyways, make sure it records you correctly. That's all.
I mean, fair.
Mr. Wilbur's got like mashed potatoes in his mouth half the time he texts. He's doing voice to text because clearly he has to. Chief Skull says those two dumb bleeps should be banned for what they did. They held on to Mookie to rip the ball out. Dumb, yes, but way over the line that they could potentially have injured him. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling like banning might. I don't know. It's up to them.
Yeah, I just think that you shouldn't ever put your hands on a player.
Maybe you're right.
There's no reason to do it. Don't do it.
I'm not mad if they get banned. I just don't know. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but all right, they ban them. Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to fight this one. I'm not going to die on this hill.
But yeah, it's just like when you're like, oh, I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to let us get season tickets next year. It's not a right. That's a privilege. And if you can't act responsibly with it, and it didn't come up and you are planning to do this when it actually happened, that you could potentially lose the season tickets. Like that didn't come up in the thought process at all.
But don't we all kind of know a guy like that? Don't we all kind of know a guy like that?
And I don't want that person anywhere near a player worth as much money as Mookie Betts.
Fair, fine.
Because if it were my team and my guy gets hurt, just because I happen to know a guy like that is not going to make me less angry at you.
That's a Homer Simpson. That's a Peter Griffin. That is any number of people we have seen on TV or even know in our own life. These people exist. They don't mean ill will. They're but they do these dumb kind of things.
But just because you didn't intend to hurt anybody doesn't mean that there aren't consequences for your actions. And either they have consequences or they don't.
Well, consequences can be that they lose their season tickets. Maybe just don't give them season tickets at all. But don't say they can't ever go to a game. Say you can't have season tickets and you're never allowed to sit within 10 rows of play. How's that? Is that a fair compromise? Or are you like, no, ban these effers? It's over.
I'm okay with anything up to a ban. So it's this if you want to go short of that, if you want to say you guys are out for a year, can't go to baseball games for a year, fine. But it's just if Mookie had gotten hurt, we're having a different conversation right now. Whether or not they intended to hurt him is not the issue.
Good point.
If he pulled a muscle trying to get the ball and then his glove punching him. Yeah, it's just
I still laugh because he's a Dodger. Harry Soap says 2 men mugging another man for a baseball. That does sound very New York to me.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Bullseye says too bad those Yankee fans didn't pull on Shohei Ohtani's bad arm. Could have actually helped his team win this series by taking out Ohtani. He said, I'm just kidding, though. Well, it sounds like that was well thought out.
A very dark joke, if you're kidding.
ASU Buddy says they should ban those people from pulling Mookie Betts' arm like they banned Pete Rose. It's very different things there.
Yeah.
Silver Pop says if them 2 dumbasses get banned, I say make an example of them. Put them on home plate and have the umpire say, "You're out." It's like actually make them walk down to home plate and then get tossed. I mean,
I think they would like that.
Yeah, that would probably be
that would be kind of
the
legendary.
Best day of their life.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason why when people are streakers on a field, they don't show you. They don't want to make your day. They don't want to make you famous for being a jerk.
Mr. Pink Eye says, I thought there was going to be no World Series talk. You give in, Jeffrey? No. We're not talking about the extra game. We're talking about a couple of knuckleheads and what they did. We're talking about some evil guy who yelled things out, to Freeman during the cancer stand-up thing.
Yeah.
Do you hear any analysis or breakdown of the 2 a-hole teams that are playing each other right now? No. So no, I did not give in. I did not. I committed. Sir Drives a Lot says, this is my text thread space, and I'll defend it. The Yankee fans are morons. Nobody's arguing with you.
Yeah.
Nobody at all.
I have been in New York.
Latina Leprechaun says, I can attest to the fact that today's show is not a repeat. Since I just texted that but the Diamondbacks being the World Series last year in Halloween. Unless the show is repeated on a best of edition of the Daily Blender, then yes, this is a repeat. Speaking of which, you guys do a best of show like on weekends as filler? No, we have yet to have a show we felt really rose to the level of best. We are not capable of that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know who wants it. I mean, we could probably record it and play it back at another time, same day, but that would be the end of it. I mean, and nobody's asking for it. So, all right, we got to take a break. We're just running late here. So we'll come back. I'll clean up the text line and we'll move on to the next thing. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Carrie Lake. Kerry and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kerry Lake for Senate.
I'm Kerry Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kerry Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com, BABBEL.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Radio Ron texted my phone. He's like, hey, we don't have baseball tickets. You got basketball tickets. I know it says basketball tickets, but my brain keeps saying baseball, and I don't know why. We have ASU basketball tickets for Tuesday, November 6th. And we also have some Phoenix Raceway tickets for the Truck Series on Friday at 6 p.m. and the Xfinity Series Championship on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. You know what we should do, Keon? We should do a thing where they call in and the winner just picks which tickets they want. You could have either or. You could have the basketball tickets for ASU on November 6th, 2 tickets and a parking pass, or the tickets for either the Truck Series Championship or the Xfinity Series Championship next week at the Phoenix Raceway. We'll just give them a chance. Give them a choice. What do you think? Should we do that?
Let's go for it. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. What the priorities of the fourth dimension are going to be.
I know we should do this by text or should we do this by phone?
Whichever. I don't know which. I actually don't know which one of those works best for having a choice of tickets. But I'm cool with whatever.
Well, you have. I think you have the access to the ASU tickets. I got the access on the Phoenix Raceway stuff. So whichever way we go, I don't know. Let's do it. I feel like, not everybody texts in the show, but everybody has a phone. So let's just, on this one, fourth caller, 888-368-1580. Right now, you can choose pair of tickets for the Phoenix Raceway Truck Series Championship on Friday or the Xfinity Series Championship on Saturday, or you can go to the basketball game, the ASU basketball game, Tuesday, November 6th. It's ASU versus Idaho State. You get 2 tickets and a parking pass. So, yes, we are giving away ASU basketball or Phoenix Raceway tickets for next week. And by the way, that's a big deal. It's the championships. That's championship weekend. So you decide and let Keon know which ones you want, and that's what you'll get. 888-368-1580. Moist One says, haven't you watched Celtic Pride? I'll be honest, no, I haven't. I don't remember that. Chief Skull says, if Big George ran Major League Baseball, those guys would be banned and fired from their employment so they could never buy tickets again. Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. Beer Bob says, those two idiots should be sentenced to season tickets for the Chicago White Sox for next year. That is probably the most brilliant punishment that I have heard so far about this. Well done, Beer Bob. If I become emperor, you might just become attorney general or judge czar. I don't know yet. Silver Pop says, wait, was the guy who yelled at Freeman about cancer Ruben Gallegos? According to that last ad, yes. Latina Leprechaun says, I would take a repeat of this show over some of these other shows. Sounds like a couple of guys doing show from the basement bathtub. Okay. The one after or the one before?
Quick question, because we're deliberating right now as to which tickets. Is that the main race for the championship?
No. Well, I mean, it's Truck Series Championship Friday. It's Xfinity Series Championship on Saturday. The main championship race is on Sunday. So no, these tickets are not for that.
Okay, that was what the question was.
But tell this person they should have had that figured out.
So it's Xfinity and Truck, and that's it.
Right.
All right.
Boy. It's a fair question, actually, no, now that I think about it. Bullseye says ASU baseball doesn't start till February. Basketball season starts next week. I know that. My brain has been doing that all day, to be honest. When I first got the email, I was like, oh, baseball tickets. And then I looked at it again. I'm like, oh, it says basketball. And then I printed it up and I was ready to go. And I said it again. So I don't know why my brain is doing that. Random texter says, are you giving away ASU basketball tickets? To quote great Hall of Fame texter, fire Bobby Hurley. A little bit early for that, random texter.
So what do I do if he called in, thought he was going to get a chance to win tickets for the main race, not able to go to the Xfinity or Truck races because it works, and can't use the ASU basketball tickets because also work?
You tell him thank you and have a nice day.
I did, but I'm talking about now, how do I just move on to caller number 5 to get the tickets? What do you
have a caller number 5?
Yeah, I do.
Take it.
All right.
Put him on the air live. Let me talk to him.
All right. Well,
do not swear. Do not swear. Who is this? I told you not to swear. Yeah. Yeah. See, that person jumped the gun there. And people who are trying to win didn't get to win because that guy was in the way.
I just jumped to 6. We'll see how this is going.
Anybody there? Hey, who's it? Don't swear. Who's this?
And turn off your radio, please.
Yeah, turn off your radio for sure. I mean, not forever.
Stefan?
What?
My name's Stefan.
Stefan? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever text in, or is this like just a straight up phone call of a guy who's never texted in?
Just a straight up phone call. I heard you on the radio right now.
Oh my God, we're on the radio?
No way.
So that's really news to us most of the time. Stefan, we're going to let you be the winner. So would you rather have the ASU basketball tickets with a parking pass for next Tuesday, ASU versus Idaho State? Or would you like to go see either the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship on Friday at 6 p.m. or the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship on Saturday at 5:30 p.m.? And no, it's not the main race on Sunday.
ASU basketball.
You should have just jumped in and said that earlier. You make me say all that. That was a lot of breath I had to use. All right, so here's what you're going to do. Stay on the line. Keon is going to get your information, and we'll make sure we get these sent over to you. And how long have you been listening to this nonsense?
Like 10 minutes.
So this is the first time you've ever heard this show?
No. I've been listening to you guys. I got your podcast too, but I'm just driving right now.
Oh, it's always nonsense. So. I think that's where maybe we got a confusion here.
Yeah.
It's always nonsense. So, Stefan, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And stay on the line and we'll get your info, man.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy the game. Maybe text us some pictures because I've been told that we've got new and even improved seats. Last season, everybody was like, "Wow, these are great seats." Radio Ron was telling me in a text, he's like, "These are even better than last year." So maybe send us a picture or something.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the rows. It looks pretty nice, and also we've got 8 tickets to give away. So
yeah, well, he's only getting 2.
He's only getting 2.
You don't get 8. You only get 2.
2 words.
Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. All right, stay on the line. 888-368-1580. All right, well, that's nice. Stefan. I wonder if he goes by Steph, like Steph Curry. I don't know. By the way, no, we're not talking about the World Series because it doesn't matter to us. We don't care. I hate the Yankees. I'm annoyed by the Dodgers. And, whatever happens doesn't matter to me. But this was one interesting thing. The Dodgers-Yankees game on Monday beat the Giants-Steelers game in the ratings, which don't worry about the NFL. It's fine. It does not mean that Major League Baseball has overtaken the NFL in popularity or anything. It's just, come on, man. Giants-Steelers, nobody thought that was going to be a good game. And this, this game Monday. All right, it's game 3. I mean, I didn't watch it. I slipped over to the Suns game, but it was the weakness of the Giants and Steelers more than the strength of the Dodgers and Yankees. If you look at it, they averaged 13.6 million viewers. Giants Steelers 13.4. So it was actually pretty close. Wasn't that big a deal. Wasn't that big a deal at all. A couple 100,000 people, whatever. Not too worried. Big George says, why don't regular everyday texters ever win anything? It's always these first-time caller, long-time listeners. I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys have us saved into your phone. I don't know why it's not faster for you guys, because you hear that, you could just hit the little phone thing in your text thing and right there. I don't know. It's a good question.
I think some people call too fast. Like you say caller number 4 and then they're caller number 1 and they're stunned that they're caller number 1.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, you seem like a nice enough guy.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Golden Domer says, how long have you been listening? Well, Jeffrey, I've had ears and I've listened to people all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Golden, we should change his name to Golden Dad Joke. Hey, so heads up, Christmas in 2025, Amazon just can't get out of its own way. And this, they're actually getting in their own way. Amazon Prime will have an NBA game and an NFL game on Black Friday next year.
I don't know that they're splitting that necessarily.
If you've got those both as choices on Amazon, you're competing with yourself, aren't you?
Maybe a little, but I think that the people who would prefer to watch football are going to watch football over basketball. And if you're the kind of person who's going to watch basketball, you're probably watching it over the football anyway.
Yes, it depends on the game.
As opposed to Monday Night
Football.
Football.
If I'm the NFL, I'm not happy with Amazon Prime, because if the game is a weaker game, somebody's got Amazon Prime and they look it up, they're like, oh, I'm going to watch this. Oh, wait, no, I'll watch this. You've just taken away from the NFL.
That's true. That's true.
So wonder old Raj will have to say about that. Mm-hmm. Mr. Roboto says, during World Series and Monday Night Football, cool kids were just over here watching reruns of The View. No, they weren't. They were really not. Hour 1 down, 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose. And we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife.
Or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household. and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit goodrx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
There's a wolf on the loose in Arizona. Its name is Ruben Gallego. Ruben's got quite a body count, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Ask his ex-wife. He left her for a DC lobbyist. She got pregnant, and he divorced her just days before she was due. Ask anyone who's done business with Ruben, from the immigrants he swindled out of their life savings to that ambulance company he helped run. You know, the one that filed for bankruptcy and had to pay $2.8 million for Medicare fraud when he left. Or you can ask grieving families. After a mass shooting, Gallego told them, "F your prayers." He also said he would have killed American protesters on January 6th. Well, now he's coming for you. Gallego wants to unlock your borders to violence, drugs, and sex trafficking. He voted in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi. He wants to vote that way again for Kamala. You can't let that happen. Don't be his next victim. Stand up and say hell no to Ruben Gallego.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Porte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Hopefully, he will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow is Thursday Night Football. Tomorrow it's time to do our picks. Tomorrow, we get our fantasy football questions answered by the king of fantasy football. All of these things are happening tomorrow. And, that'd be cool. I got Keon Rose in the control room. Got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And we've got lurkers. I always forget we have lurkers. Is that rude to call them lurkers? I mean, I think most people just call them listeners.
but when you have an interactive show like this one, it does get a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess it's probably not fair of me to call them lurkers.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like if there's people on an internet chat room or something and they are just reading, but they're not actually participating, that's what they're called.
No, they should be called readers. So it's not called. It's probably not fair to call anyone lurkers.
That's true. I guess that's
there are lurkers in the world, but maybe it's not fair because
there's some people who are just driving.
In the old days, we had listeners, and the only time we'd ever get to have interaction with listeners was on the phone or at a remote broadcast. But now we got the text line, and we focus on the text line. So now people who are just like doing what you're supposed to do, listening, calling in to win a prize, we're like, what are you, weird? What's going on with you?
You're not like the others. What's going on?
But there's no wrong answer. Hell, we're just glad you're listening for whatever reason you are. And honestly, I don't get it most of the time. I'm glad you're there. I'll be honest, I don't get it. But anyway, listen, we've got a couple of things to talk about here, and I know it's going to open up a ginormous can of worms, but why not? Let's open up the can. Let's see what the worms look like. So some fantasy football players are upset. Can I just stop you right there? Fantasy football players, you should not be upset at players. I've never been upset at a player. I've been upset at a coach. I'm like, really? Now you're going to sit him? God damn it. I needed a couple more points. But that is even nothing I would say out loud if I was in front of him. I'd be like, yeah, that's just me at that moment with my team. It never goes beyond that moment, right? It should not. It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there mad about something because this player did this or did not do that, you need a little perspective. It's called fantasy for a reason. It's not interactive. It's not they are out there playing a game, making millions of dollars, but all they can think about is making sure my team wins. No. So when a bunch of fantasy football players got mad at a TikTok.
Oh boy, this is getting dumber by the second. All right.
Olivia Culpo's TikTok.
Who is that?
She's some, I don't know, famous gal who's dating Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
So here's the thing. That's not what I looked at and came away with, is what they came away with, right? Let me tell you what happened. So Olivia Culpo, she's making this little video, and here comes CMC Music Factory, Christian McCaffrey, and then a little puppy named Sprinkles, and they like, ooh, our puppy is so cute. Kind of reminds you of Toto from The Wizard of Oz. So Olivia Culpo dresses up like Dorothy. Okay, that's cool. Not even slutty Dorothy. She's just Dorothy. So you know what? Props to her for that. So tired of all these slutty costumes. It's like, I'm a slutty this, I'm a slutty that. I've been trying to be a slutty something for years, but nobody noticed.
That sounds like jealousy.
Yeah. So I appreciate just a good costume. And she was pulling off that whole, hey, look at me, I'm Dorothy. Yeah, I got you. Checkered dress and the hair and all. Yeah, perfect. Well done, Olivia Culpo. A tasteful Dorothy. And then your dog, Sprinkles. Oh, that's a good dog. Looks like Toto. No, but still, little dog. Close enough. And then here comes Christian McCaffrey. And he looks like Ralphie from Christmas Story when he comes down the stairs wearing the bunny outfit. Here it is right there. He does not look happy. The dog looks happy. He does not look happy. He's like, where's my Red Ryder mother effing BB gun? What is this?
I did not expect him to have. He's expressionless.
Yeah. And his arms are down. And then later on, though, he does smile because she, I guess, gives him a reason to smile. But right there, yeah, this is how he feels about this whole thing. So
why is anyone mad at her? He's the only one that has a right to be mad because he's clearly wearing a costume he does not want to be wearing.
Well, I'll read one of the comments. I'm 2-6 in fantasy because my first overall pick is hurt and dressed like the Tin Man.
Okay.
People are mad. They're like, that was my first pick in fantasy. Safe to say, I've been depressed for 8 weeks of fantasy gameplay. People are mad because he's hurt. Like, dude is hurt. It doesn't hurt him more to where it hurts him. It doesn't hurt you that he's wearing this outfit.
And his soul and his pride, clearly. But he's not becoming more injured because he's dressed as the Tin Man and he looks like he wants someone to put him out of his misery.
He just
the look on the face is killing.
Just wishes someone.
The video is even better. If you can find it, it's
he just kind of steps in the frame like, do I have to do this?
There's a comedic timing to the way that he looks when he steps in the frame.
Poor guy. I do. I mean, I know. I mean, he's a very rich man, but I feel sorry for him. He's like, I got Olivia Culpo as a girlfriend. I got all this money in the bank. Life is good, even though I'm hurt. Oh, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But
I wonder if he tried to ask to be any other character in that movie.
I mean, you don't want to be the straw. You don't want to be the
scarecrow.
Scarecrow because he's a
coward.
Yeah, he's a big chicken bleep. And then if you be the cowardly lion, the scarecrow is just dumb.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you don't want to be
dumb, and you don't want to be a coward.
And you don't want to be a coward. What was the other one? Was it just the three of them? The Tin Man. Tin Man has no heart. I don't mind that.
And boy,
my wife thinks I'm emotionally dead inside anyway. You never cry. I just,
can't.
I cried when the dog died. Didn't that count?
I think that counts.
Anyway, so these morons are mad because he's having a good time or he's wearing a costume when he's injured.
He is not built his entire life around your fantasy football team. Therefore, he is not as miserable as you. That's not his problem. Or Olivia Culpo's problem, for that matter.
Mr. Roboto says Christian McCaffrey and his girlfriend went out for Chinese after that photo shoot, and his fortune cookie read, "Well, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that it didn't already have." Moist One says, "Oh, she's so hot."
Okay, well, I just don't get any weirder than that, please.
You just look like a normal girl to me.
She's just an attractive lady. That's all.
Hefty Lefty says nobody likes a lurker in the locker room. Well, we're not the locker room, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Random Texter says tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Why are you saying? I don't understand.
That is not the right movie reference there.
Yeah, it's Over the Rainbow.
I think you have confused movies.
Random Texter, you've convinced us. You're a straight older man. Nobody's questioning it anymore. If I start singing Over the Rainbow, people might think I'm gay. Ah. You are safe, Random Texture. Mission accomplished. So where they really go to I don't know what they were up to. Christian McCaffrey, he does look young enough in the face to still maybe pull off trick or treating. Doesn't he? He does have a
he has a young face.
Yeah, young and I wish I was dead face. But
yeah,
still,
in that particular photo, yeah.
He does have that face, though, like in the Home Depot ads when Travis Kelce is trying to mess with him and he just has this very serious look at his face. Like I can't remember what movie character he reminds me of, like a cross between Forrest Gump. No, Forrest Gump.
His brother has the same face, too. His brother Luke just got drafted by the Commanders this year. And every time I see Luke, it's like, are you even happy to be out there?
Same face, huh?
Same face. Just a younger version of the same face.
That doesn't mean they're dead inside.
No.
But it could mean they're dead inside.
You never know, really.
You saw Christian McCaffrey show up, or a kid that size. Were you going to give him candy?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got the costume on and everything. Girlfriend's got the little dog. It's like, hey, trick or treat. You wouldn't give him candy?
I don't know. Are you giving high school seniors candy?
I do.
Okay.
And here's the thing. I thought about that. But now, before in the past, when you ask me, well, what do you think the age limit should be? I felt like 12. You know what I mean? If you're over 12, maybe you're a bit old for that. Because I think about the little kids trying to go to house, get their candy, whatever. And then I thought, well, maybe that's not right. Maybe 12 isn't right. Some towns will have age limits where it's like 13 or 14. There's actually a town called Deerfield Township in Jersey, and they're in the news now because they actually did set a legal age limit at 12.
At 12.
So I was like, well, when is too old to trick or treat? And, I think never. Because here's as long as you're polite. When I've had teenagers come up and they're all acting all jerky, and I'm just kind of like, get out of here. I'll give them the candy because I don't want nothing to happen to the house. But, I feel in my head, I'm like, jackasses, get out of here. But then there's kids who've come up and some teenagers who have been cool. Like, hi, trick or treat. And they're having fun and laughing and everything.
Okay.
There's a difference between a bunch of jerk ass kids and the kids who are just still like, hey, I dressed up. I want candy. You know what? Good for you. As long as you're positive experiencing this thing. You see what I'm saying? I think that's the thing. It's not about the age. It's about the attitude.
That makes sense. I was a genuine question for me because I did not trick or treat grown up, so I don't know.
Yeah, I remember, trick or treating, and then when I was I stopped trick or treating. Then my friend Jeff Finicello says, "Hey, we should go trick or treating." And I'm like, "Well, I think we're too old." He's like, "No, why are we too old?" And then I was like, "Yeah, good question. I don't know." And then my girlfriend was like, dressed like I Dream of Jeannie, And I'm like, well, she's going to get us some candy for sure. And so we dressed up like Frank and Jesse James. We were very authentic looking, and we went out there and we were twirling our fake little guns, and we cleaned up. We were nice. We were respectful. We went to the door. We weren't like causing trouble or like, like some kids do.
Good point.
But after that, I was like, I don't think I should do this anymore. There's a certain point as a grown up, you should be going to a party, not going door to door.
That makes sense.
I think the cutoff should be 18. I didn't need to be going trick or treating that year. We should have gone to a party. Oh, that's right. We did. We did go to a party, and he broke up with his girlfriend at the party, and I had to drive her crying ass home.
Why would he do that at the party? Why?
Because he liked to make everything about himself. Golly. So I had to drive. She was a very nice girl. I had to drive Adina home. And I was just like, she's like, and I'm like, okay, okay. I got to go. Okay. Now. Okay. Hey, Randy writes on the text line, says, trick or treat. You might be well beyond. Randy is so beyond the age of trick or treating that he's come back around to it. If Randy showed up at your house, like dressed as Batman with a paper mask and nothing else, clothing, but like just a Batman paper mask with 2 holes carved out, I'd give him candy.
Yeah, you just let it ride.
Yeah. There's a point where you come back around. Maybe when I'm, I don't know, when I'm very old. Maybe Randy and I, when we're in the nursing home, we'll go trick or treating. It'd be Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I'll be Barnacle Boy. Randy gets to be Mermaid Man. What did he always say? Evil.
That was funny.
That's a date, Randy White. Finding Wampa says that CMC wife, not girlfriend, by the way. So financially, he had to dress as whatever she says. Oh, they're married.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Fish Tank says, I do a bonfire with my dad every year and we hand out candy. Where is the bonfire? Where do you do a bonfire? On your driveway? He says, watching my dad shut down these weird moms asking for candy in their costume was like 90% of the fun. What? Why are moms asking for candy? I don't understand that. You just steal it from your kids when they come home. We have a candy check station here. We got to make sure nobody put like a pistol in there. Harry Soap says Christian McCaffrey, cross between Forrest Gump and Robert Patrick from Terminator.
I can see it.
Now, there's too much personality in Robert Patrick's eyes.
You think so?
Yeah. Even when he's trying to be all like serious, you can see that glint in his eye. Beer Bob says, I feel like if you can drive, you shouldn't trick or treating. Drive your ass to the store, buy yourself some candy. It's not about the buying of the candy. It's just, I like to make sure the little kids all, have a good time. Randy White says, but I want some candy. All right. I got some candy for you then. I'll have to give it to you next time I see you. But yes, I'll give you some candy. Bat Flipper says, Randy White, he calls in to hoe trick-or-treating. You just called Randy White a hoe? Is that how hoes trick-or-treat? They text into radio shows?
It seems like a very ineffective way to do that.
Oh, he just texted in. I meant go. Sorry.
Okay.
Letters in words, that could change. That could be the difference between a fist fight and a nice moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just call Randy a hoe. And you're like, oh, nope. Go trick-or-treating. Biscuits and Gravy says, adults go trick-or-treating in our area. Hold on, Biscuits and Gravy. I'm going to have to come back around to your text. For some reason, it's not showing up on the side completely. Fish Tank says, bonfire right on the front patio. And yeah, these moms with tiny little infants trying to get free pass. Hey, that kid ain't eating that. No, I agree with you. I support that. If you're taking a baby going, hey, trick or treat from the baby. No, you get nothing. You get, oh, coochie. That's what you get. Get off my board.
I can't blame him for trying though. Like, if you're trying to figure out how to get candy as an adult for free, and there's a kid that you have to go out with anyway because you got to have the memories, take pictures, and all the things.
You're gonna have to wait till the kid is older to steal his candy.
Yeah, it's just tax.
Period.
Just tax him.
No, Fish Tank. I'm with you on that one. Of course, unless you're single and she's hot. then that's a different moment, isn't it? Like, Dad, shut up. Hefty Lefty says, Chris McCaffrey looks like his dad if his dad got jacked. I haven't seen his dad, but I believe you. Big George says, we go sometimes get trick-or-treaters that start early and come around 2 p.m. Should I turn those kids away or give them candy? Yeah, the early ones. And it's supposed to be dark. You don't go trick-or-treating until it's dark. But I get it. Safety. People are like, oh, we should go when it's light so nobody gets murdered. But that's the thing about Halloween. There's a chance you're going to get murdered. That's why you dress up like a monster so that the other monsters think you're monsters too. That's the whole point of it. Did you not know how this works, people? It's the night. October 31st is the night all the ghosts and goblins and the monsters, they get that free pass to come hang out. Like, oh, the real ones, right? The real ones. And that's why you go out. It's like a challenge. It's like a reality show. It's like Fear Factor from the 1500s. You go out dressed like a monster, so you're in disguise, not to scare other people, but so that the monsters think you're one of them and they don't eat you. If you can go out and go to people's houses and get some candy out of them, and then you go home, that's the whole point. Did you get eaten? No. Enjoy your candy.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Enjoy the candy. So yeah, 2 p.m. Ain't no risk. There ain't no candy. I mean, I don't know. Little kids, maybe. I don't know. Slow Mo Zo says Chris McCaffrey looks like Mike Stretch Arms gone. Oh, I remember that. You talk about no, that's Armstrong. What was the guy's Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah,
that's what you're thinking. And he says, by the way, have you given away them tickets for NASCAR race? No, we gave away some ASU basketball tickets earlier, but in this hour, tell you what, keep listening. We'll give away some NASCAR tickets. That's what we'll do in this hour. Right now, though, I got to take a break. 888-368-1580. Have that number ready. We come back. We're talking NFL. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
There's a wolf on the loose in Arizona. Its name is Ruben Gallego. Ruben's got quite a body count, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Ask his ex-wife. He left her for a DC lobbyist. She got pregnant, and he divorced her just days before she was due. Ask anyone who's done business with Ruben, from the immigrants he swindled out of their life savings to that ambulance company he helped run. You know, the one that filed for bankruptcy and had to pay $2.8 million for Medicare fraud when he left. Or you can ask grieving families. After a mass shooting, Gallego told them, your prayers. He also said he would have killed American protesters on January 6th. Well, now he's coming for you. Gallego wants to unlock your borders to violence, drugs, and sex trafficking. He voted in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi. He wants to vote that way again for Kamala. You can't let that happen. Don't be his next victim. Stand up and say hell no to Ruben Gallego.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Mr. Roboto says, hey, sticking with the Halloween theme. Didn't I just say I wanted to move on? Didn't I just say that?
You did say that, yeah.
He says, for anyone who's a Randy Macho Man Savage fan, they now have Macho Con with a lot of people dressed up like Randy Macho Man Savage. It's just kind of like a bunch of Elvis impersonators, really. Yeah, I think if you're an Elvis impersonator, you can also pull off Randy the Macho Man Savage. As, you know, just, it's a different act, but it's a similar look. These same glasses. It's just a different facial hair. It's a pretty good point there, Mr. Roboto. Anyway.
Hadn't thought about that.
Really, also don't care. I mean, fake wrestling is not sports, Mr. Roboto. I will die on that hill. I'm not gonna go nuts telling people they can't, trick or treat when they're, up to 18. But fake wrestling ain't real. It's fake. It's not sports. Firmly in the not sports column. But they're so athletic, and then okay, great. They're athletic, but that doesn't mean it's a sport.
If you like to watch it, you can like to watch it, and that still doesn't make it a sport.
You desperately wanted to watch some soap operas, and you did it under the cover of a couple of guys flying through the air pretending to beat the hell out of each other.
If you wanted to watch a soap opera where at any moment someone could get hit over the head with a chair, that's okay, fine. There you go.
My wife loves a good telenovela when she's on the treadmill. I hear her in there. She's like, "Oh my God!" Like you didn't see the evil twin coming, huh?
No. The doctor's back to life for the third time. Okay.
Wow, that's amazing. I thought they died in the explosion, but no, there they are. So it's the same thing. Fake wrestling. That is your soap opera. That is your telenovela. Enjoy. Not me, but you. Not sports. Not ever. 888-368-1580. Beer Bob says, I would say the Honky Tonk Man, but Elvis impersonator doing Macho Man. Nah, that's the same thing. You just different facial hair. You shave. You know what I mean? Honky Tonk Man would be if you also imitate Fat Elvis. Because I remember Honky Tonk Man from when I was a kid. I watched fake wrestling until I was 12, and I figured out, oh, this is bullcrap. They're not actually hitting each other. When I saw a guy like pretending to hit, like hitting himself and like slapping his chest and slapping the mat, and I'm like, that's fake. I'm out.
But
thank God I figured out it was fake before I ever paid for a WrestleMania.
I forget which two wrestlers it was, but I remember hearing Bill Simmons talk about the time his dad took him to like a wrestling.
Who?
Bill Simmons.
Oh, Bill Simmons.
Yeah. And he went to this wrestling match or whatever. And then they were leaving and they saw these two guys that the story was that they hated each other, but they were both in the back of this car smoking and laughing. And that's when Bill let go of the wrestling, because it was just like, wait, you're actually friends? That doesn't work at all.
So that's exactly why I'm glad I never, ever bought a ticket. Because that'd be worse.
Yeah, that'd be disappointing to find out if that's what you were really, if you were into it for the realism, because if you're a kid, you think it's real.
I was leaning on on my seat, like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan's going to St. Joseph's Hospital. Because when they came here and they were having a fight, I was like, oh my God, he's injured. He's going to the hospital. Oh my gosh, the poor guy. And I was just like, I was legit concerned. Hulkamania run wild. Hulkamania with an IV. Hulkamania on crutches. Oh my God. And then I started figuring out it's fake, and I'm just like, why are you wasting my time? I know I'm only 12 years old, but I feel like you're wasting my valuable time, my life force. Don't waste my time.
You swap out Hulk Hogan for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you have my childhood right there.
Same thing.
Same thing.
You're like, this is bullcrap.
It's just like,
nobody can get hit like that, pile driven, suplexed, or whatever, and live. You start to figure out the physics. Generally, after you've done it to another kid, and they're not allowed to play with you anymore.
Yeah.
That happened to me once. Only it wasn't wrestling. We were playing. You were in the you're too young. Emergency 51. Okay, Chet and Roy. They're driving around in that not an ambulance, but it's like a little fire truck that kind of looked like just a regular truck, and they were like EMTs.
Yeah.
And so we were playing that, and this other kid, by the way, coincidentally, his name was Stefan.
Wow.
And Stefan, at the time I didn't understand, but Stefan was hanging out and he just wanted to go over to Abby's house and play Barbies. Okay. And that's all right. But I hurt Stefan accidentally. I didn't realize he was a delicate person. And we were playing Emergency 51 and he had a heart attack.
What happened to him?
No, not in real life.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, whoa, okay. I was like,
he had a heart attack. So I was like, I've got this. And I start doing imaginary CPR. And I cracked a rib. Which is something that can happen in real life.
Yeah. You don't really know that when you're a kid, though. So
no, I mean, we were like, I was 8. I was like 7 or 8. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize that would happen. I'm so sorry, Stefan. And Stefan actually was okay with it because then now he was no longer, it was okay for him to play more gentle games with the dolls that he originally really wanted to anyway.
Inside the house and not outside the house. Yeah.
With Abby.
Good for him.
Yes.
I guess you get what you want in life. It works out for you.
I would have been fine with it even then. If I had known, I wouldn't have roughed him up. He was not there to be roughed up. Yeah. And and I was the one that says, okay, no, go pretend you're having a heart attack. So of course he does what you see on TV. And I'm like, woo! I come over on my bike, I jump off, I start doing CPR, and he's like, ah!
Oh my God. Oh,
but it was a high pitched scream because we were 7 or 8. He probably should have gone to the hospital. I did hear
cracked ribs. Oh,
I did hear a crack.
Ew.
I don't feel bad about it.
I don't think he did either. So,
and I remember a time thinking, well, he's a delicate little thing, isn't he?
I mean,
but then that could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, and like when you're 8, anytime anything cracks or breaks and you're 8, the pain is not something you're capable of processing yet. Like you just, yeah.
He was never allowed to play with me again.
I can understand that.
But we were able to, like when we were in school later, then we were able to hang out. Now looking back, a lot of stuff makes sense. I hope him and his partner are doing very well. 888-368-1580. Chosen One says, fun stat of the day, Matt Eberflus is 0-17 on the road on Sundays. Wow. Seriously?
That doesn't even sound right. It's
that the Bears coach, right?
Yeah.
They've never won on the road ever?
That doesn't sound right.
Since him? Did you just make that up, Chosen One? Mr. Roboto says, well, for those so inclined, there's an old viral video of a guy pulling into a drive-thru wearing an ET mask, but acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Called himself Stone Cold ET. I am not inclined, but that does sound a little funny.
It's a little silly. Also, it's not that bad, but it is very bad. It's not 0-17. It's 3-17, which is the
fake news, Chosen One. Don't come in here with fake news. He says, no, that's an accurate stat. He's only won on the road 3 times, and they were on Thursdays and Mondays. Well, then that means he's 0-14. Wait, now you got to be more specific. If it's Sunday, now you got to find out
that's
what
true. That's
record
true.
is on Sunday. Is it 0-14 on Sunday? Why don't you just chosen one. Can you just?
I mean, I'm inclined to believe it because if he's already 3-17, if those three happened on Monday or Thursday, and I can think of specifically one from Thursday, yeah, that's true. Eberflus has never won a road game on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, just say that. That's still impressive. You know what? I think we should do. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do it by text this time. Let's do it by text.
All right, let's see how it goes.
We're only going to take your texts between now and the break. Send me a text 888-368-1580 and just put in there NASCAR. And if you put in NASCAR, I will let you have your choice of a pair of tickets for the Truck Series Championship 6 p.m. on Friday or the Xfinity Series Championship at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. So you just put in NASCAR, and while you're at it, tell me which one of those races you want, and then I'll do a random. Hefty, I didn't say Formula One. You are disqualified. You're not winning anything now. But put in NASCAR and let me know which one you want, and then if you win, then I'll just get your email address from you, and I'll send you the tickets over immediately. That's what we'll do. Keon loves it when I do that because then he doesn't have to take your phone calls.
It is a little easier, admittedly.
Sir Drives a Lot says, slow car, I-10. You trying to tell us about a slow car on the I-10 that's getting in the way? Are you saying you're in a car that's slow on the I-10?
Are you behind the slow car? Is it, or did you mean stopped car? Because that would be more serious. Someone's just driving slow. You can.
Yeah, the I-10 is very big.
Yeah,
it goes all the way to the beach. Okay, and then it goes all the way through New Mexico and on into Texas. So, can you be more specific where you are on the I-10 that all the cars are driving slowly?
Like exit, mile marker, that kind of deal.
Which direction?
Westbound, eastbound.
Need more information, Sir Drives a Lot. Need more information. But for everyone else, if you want to win the Phoenix Raceway tickets for Friday or Saturday, text NASCAR and which one you want to go to. Oh, I had another thing before we get to the NFL. I had another thing that I saw, I found interesting. Don't really know what to do with it. I have a list of the oldest to the newest NBA arenas.
Okay.
Maybe it's not as interesting to everyone else, but I found it interesting that the Phoenix Suns play at what is originally was the America West Arena. Now it's the Foot Fungus Center, the Footprint Center. They play in the fourth oldest arena in the NBA, built in 1992.
Wow.
What you know the oldest one, right? Should be easy.
Chicago?
No.
I don't know.
That's fifth.
That's fifth.
Yeah, the United Center was built in 94. Wait, I didn't know they got a new one right after we did.
I didn't know that either, honestly. I just assumed that building was there forever.
You're not getting too many more guesses.
the Lakers in the crypto?
No, that was surprising. That was surprising. That one is mid-range, actually.
Mid-range. Okay. I just know that building from my entire life. I
got it on page 3.
I can't remember when the Lakers played in something that wasn't that building.
Where is it? Hold on. Oh yeah, it's on. That was built in 1999.
Oh, you know what? MSG, the Knicks.
Did you look it up?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
It just occurred to me. Like, oh,
Madison
you know
Square Garden, 1967. And it seems like it's huge, right?
Yeah.
It only holds 19,500 people. The Phoenix Suns only hold 1,000 less. And Phoenix Suns, where they're at, the footprint, feels cozier than Madison Square Garden. All I can think is Madison Square Garden maybe has more space, but that not that many more seats. Maybe. The number 2 oldest one surprises me. I mean, I really did. It blew me away. I will give you a hint.
Okay.
After Madison Square Garden, there are no older arenas. All of them were made after 1990. I didn't say it was going to be a good one.
Okay. Boston?
No.
Nope. Then
Boston is actually the eighth oldest. They were built in 95. The TD Garden is what they call it. TD Garden. If only there was a garden. All right, I'll tell you. The Target Center in Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah, they've been playing there since 1990, and it feels like that was a much newer place than that.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they keep it looking nice every time I see it on TV. It looks really good.
I don't know.
That's
and
why
third,
I never thought to guess that.
Third oldest is the Delta Center, Utah Jazz. Salt Lake, 91. So
yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either. So,
welcome to the United States of America, where no buildings are allowed to be older than 40 years old.
Apparently, yeah. It's where's Washington?
I don't know. I mean, I know this just doesn't matter, but I thought it was interesting. The Wizards, where are they at here?
Just for my personal curiosity, because I know nobody actually cares.
I know. I should have known you were going to ask. I don't know why I don't have this ready. Pretty old. You're like the 11th oldest.
Okay.
1997.
Yeah,
you know the newest one, of course. You know the newest one, right?
The newest one has got to be the Intuit Dome there.
The Balmer Dome. That's right.
The Clippers.
That only holds 18,000 people. And the one before that, everybody knows that the Golden State Warriors got new digs. That happened in 2019. I thought that, man, time flies, doesn't it?
Yep. Try not to think that hard about it.
The Bucks got theirs in 2018. The Pistons got theirs in 17. The Kings got theirs in 16. And
I remember when the Kings moved. Wow.
Boston Nets got theirs in 12. Orlando Magic got theirs in 2010, but they call it the Kia Center, so you know. The stadium, the arena with the highest capacity. Do you know who that is?
The highest capacity? Oh boy.
Most seats. I'm saying it that way for Moist One.
Good point. No, I don't know.
It will make sense when I say it. United Center for the Chicago Bulls. Of course, they were going to put more seats in there. They're cramming every last bit of real estate they could. 23,500. That is 5,000 more than the Suns get.
That's pretty crazy. And it's funny because now you can't fill that building because look at them.
Well, everything is cyclical. It'll come back around.
Oh, yeah.
It'll come back around.
Of course, by the time they get good again, they might try to get a new building. So,
but here's the interesting thing. The newest 5 arenas, even 6, are low capacity comparatively, lower than the Suns. The Intuit Dome, 18,000. Chase Center for the Warriors, 18,000. Bucks are playing in a place 17,300. Pistons, they got straight up 20,000. They're like, yep, we're going to buy every share. The Kings, 17,500. The Brooklyn Nets, 17,500. So this new round of arenas went smaller.
Yeah, I guess you're just like, you know what? We're going to have higher quality seats instead of more seats.
Hefty Lefty says, I've been to the Verizon Center, saw them play in 2005. That's when I got that towel that I dropped off that one day.
Yeah, the Wizards, the Wizards towel that Hefty Lefty got me pretty much the first month I was working here. It's pretty cool. Still over by my my desk. It's on the little wall.
Our listeners give us presents. That's nice. I don't know why, but they do.
Yeah.
Flappy Mac says, I'll buy the Xfinity tickets. You guys cover my beer and food. No.
Incorrect? Question mark? Yeah.
Bite Micah Bob says, oh, yeah, he wants to go. He wants to go to the Truck Series Championship. Yeah, you know, Frankie Muniz, I don't know if he's going to be in that or not. I don't know if Malcolm in the Middle is driving that one. But everybody was talking about how he's in it now. So, all right, we got to take a break. When we come back, I promise we will talk football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Radical Ruben Gallego can't be trusted. Gallego's inflation-causing policies have made it impossible for Arizona's families to get by.
Gallego's one of the most far-left people in Congress. He's voted with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris 100% of the time.
Even worse, Gallego is an open borders Democrat who voted to allow illegal immigrants to vote in our elections. Radical Ruben Gallego is just too far left for Arizona. Carrie Lake is running for U.S. Senate to be a voice for all Arizonans. She's endorsed by both President Donald Trump and Governor Doug Ducey.
With Carrie fighting for Arizona in the Senate, we will make America great again.
Carrie Lake will fight to lower costs for Arizona's families, eliminate taxes on tips and Social Security, and will secure our southern border. The choice is clear. Vote Carrie Lake for Senate.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Carrie Lake for Senate.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Random number generator says Bite Mike Bob wins the tickets. So congratulations to him. And next hour, we'll give away some other tickets. Don't know. Might be ASU basketball. Might be some more NASCAR. Who knows? All right. Let's talk some NFL football. And what is the whole thing about Lions wide receiver Jamison Williams? Well, it's just getting messier, isn't it? So he and his brother? They got pulled over, or his friend. Was it his friend or his brother? I don't know.
His brother, I think.
So they got pulled over at the traffic stop. They were both packing heat. They both were carrying. And, his brother had a concealed license, but Jamison did not. And so the cops there were like, hey, we're going to have to probably arrest you for this. And so then the superior officer shows up. He's like, whoa, what the hell are you doing, guys? Hold on. And the sergeant shows up. He's got a big old Lions, phone screen on. You know what I'm saying? And he's a big Lions fan. And he started making phone calls to higher ranking officers. He's like, so can the brother's concealed pistol license cover both guns we found in the vehicle? And he was doing whatever he can, asking anybody, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? And he finally got a guy. He's like, yeah, we do. And he's on the phone. He's like, oh, beautiful. I'm good to let him go then? Yeah. Oh, you're a effing hero. Thank you so much. Click. All right, you can go. Well, no. So now Detroit Internal Affairs is investigating and saying, no, he probably should not have been let go. That is not how it works. The concealed carry permit of one person doesn't apply to everyone in your car. I mean, even the sergeant was like telling the original officers, "I am so mad at you guys." Seriously, because he was such a Lions fan. He was like, "Oh no, sorry, let me see what I can do." Yeah, I mean, Jameson, to credit, he immediately said yes. I was in his traffic stop to the team. The team immediately told the NFL. Nobody tried to hide anything. That was great. When the officers pulled him over, and his brother was like, yes, officer, we have guns in the car. So everybody was forthcoming on this whole thing. And it should have ended with Jameson Williams being arrested, and then released because, he wasn't doing anything. He just happened to have a gun.
And he had a license to carry the gun, just not conceal it.
Still.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Whatever it was going to be, wasn't going to be the end of the world for him.
Yeah, like he was going to be let go because, it doesn't rise to the level of, being detained or anything. Yeah.
But the NFL looks at this and laws were broken. And so the NFL, they stepped in and have they suspended him yet? Or no, he was suspended earlier this month.
He was already suspended for PEDs.
PEDs. That's right. That's what it was. So the NFL, I think, is going to watch this and make a decision. But, it ain't great.
No. And it is a pattern of at least not the best decision making from specifically Jameson Williams, who was also suspended before 8 games for gambling.
But here's another thing. You broke a law. There's going to be consequences, and those consequences may also come from your employer. So it's nothing that you can't get through. Yeah. I mean, even Dan Campbell's like, hey, listen, we're going to hang with him. Don't worry. We're going to hang in there with them. It's another learning experience. Sometimes people need a bunch of learning experiences, and then the next thing, you never hear about them again. They're just like doing their job like they're supposed to, and they grow up a little bit. And at first thing, you're like, why are these guys packing heat? And he actually told one of the officers, you know where I live? I live in Detroit.
What do you mean?
That's a fair point, kid. That's a fair point. Except for if you're not legal, there's going to be consequences.
And that's part of it. And so he's going to have to be more responsible about that moving forward. But, it doesn't seem like even when you look at a lot of his infractions, it's stupid stuff, but none of it is Jameson Williams is a bad guy. You don't get that from it.
Jameson Williams only needs to pay the consequences for the infraction, whether that's a fine, whatever it is, those are his consequences. What this police sergeant did, not his consequences. This police sergeant needs to be fired. This police sergeant needs to suffer the consequences for giving favors just because this guy is a football player. This happens across the country. Mm-hmm. This happens a lot in Texas, but it happens across the country where people are getting off from various crimes just because they have an NFL logo on them.
I mean, in at least where I lived in Tennessee / Georgia, I've heard many stories about not maybe NFL players, but college players getting away with.
High school and college players, the ones get away with the most.
A lot, yeah. Like there are some towns in SEC country where you get arrested as a player, and they call the coaches before they call anybody else. Like that's not how that's supposed to work. That's not good.
Nobody on a football team has ever been arrested in Nebraska. Just so you know. Beer Bob says Jameson doesn't sound like a bad guy, just really stupid. No, maybe not even stupid, just making dumb young guy decisions, and the kind that can end up getting you killed if you're not careful.
I mean, like that's just part of the reality of that. And obviously, you talk about like the gambling suspension. Like obviously, you can't gamble on football as a football player. How come you didn't know that? I'm not sure. And the PEDs, it was a diuretic, it was a masking agent. So presumably you were taking something you were trying to hide, which is also dumb. But like I understand why somebody who came into the league with an ACL injury might want to have something to help them recover. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying I get it. This is another one of those where I get it, but it's starting to add up to a guy that is at least not making the best decisions.
So I guess we'll see what happens to this police officer. And I don't know. I don't think they can go back and charge Jameson Williams now. I mean, they pulled him over, let him go. They can't go back like, oh, Bob, sorry, we should have charged you here. We're charging you now. Can they?
I don't think so.
I don't think they should. I don't know. I don't know the legal ramifications on something like that.
If only one of the many lawyers who listen to this show could let us know.
Yeah. What were they originally pulled over for?
It was like a traffic violation. Yeah, it was. I don't remember. I don't even remember what the thing was because everywhere I read just said it was a minor infraction, nothing serious.
Yeah. Okay, probably nothing will happen from this. So, but what do I know? So everybody's still pinging me on the socials about what happened with Anthony Richardson getting benched in favor of Joe Flacco. And so these stories start coming out. First thing that came out was Anthony Richardson's like, well, you didn't really explain to me why. You didn't tell me why. I'm like, do you not watch your own tape? Do you not? How are you so unaware? You're not self-aware enough to realize you play like booty. You took a play off, and that was a bad look. And you don't make good decisions. And it's like, well, maybe it's time to pull you back and let's go with another guy who maybe can win an easy game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that was the first thing I saw. And then the next thing is Michael Pittman going, I found out about the quarterback change on social media.
Ooh, not great.
Yeah, this is not good communication from the head coach. Head coach probably told Richardson, but Richardson probably all he heard was, you're not playing. And you hear after that, but not telling the team their faces and this coming out, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's someone else is throwing the ball. Not great.
No one should find that out from social media. If you have the guys in the building at any point, and also you're the coach, you have everybody's contact information. Just, hey, we're making a change here. It's very. It's an important decision because these guys are risking their bodies to follow some person that you are saying is the quarterback. And if you change that person, they ought to know.
Well, it's not a good look for a coach to not communicate to his players. At one moment, you got a guy who's like, I'm too tired to play. You're like, that's it. I'm done with him. And then now you're not communicating that you're pulling him to your other players. That doesn't make you look great to them. So wasn't a great quarterback look. Nah, it's not a good coach look. That Michael Pittman's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, at least send a text.
At the very least.
Let people know.
Because you told the media, look, I'm evaluating this, that, and the third. Okay, you do your evaluation. You get the guys together before practice. You let them know before anybody else does.
Swave Dave says about Jameson Williams, NFL player. Gambling, drugs, guns. Sounds like he should be on Dateline.
This is funny because it's like the mildest version of all of these things, but still.
Jameson Williams was in a car. The car got pulled over. Did he know he had the gun with him? Of course he did. Yeah, I've seen way worse episodes, Swave Dave. All right, we're talking football, everybody, and we'll keep that going when we come back. We got 2 hours down. We got 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
There's a wolf on the loose in Arizona. Its name is Ruben Gallego. Ruben's got quite a body count, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Ask his ex-wife. He left her for a DC lobbyist. She got pregnant and he divorced her just days before she was due. Ask anyone who's done business with Ruben, from the immigrants he swindled out of their life savings to that ambulance company he helped run. You know, the one that filed for bankruptcy and had to pay $2.8 million for Medicare fraud when he left. Or you can ask grieving families. After a mass shooting, Gallego told them, "F your prayers." He also said he would have killed American protesters on January 6th. Well, now he's coming for you. Gallego wants to unlock your borders to violence, drugs, and sex trafficking. He voted in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi. He wants to vote that way again for Kamala. You can't let that happen. Don't be his next victim. Stand up and say hell no to Ruben Gallego.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And Medi-Share is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before October 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is October 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Who knows? You might be back tomorrow. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All righty. In this hour, you might win a pair of tickets to see some racing over at Phoenix Raceway. Maybe on Friday, you'll get to see the Craftsman Truck Series Championship. It's just truck racing. And that'll happen at 6 p.m. on Friday. Or you'll see the Xfinity Series Championship on Sunday. Really up to you. And then we got the ASU basketball tickets for ASU versus Idaho State on Thursday, November 6th. So there you go. There you go. Man, is this election over yet?
Sadly, not yet.
So I know that they tally votes early. You know what I'm saying? They're counting the votes that people mailed in early. And I checked on my ballot and it says, hey, we got it. It's been counted. I'm like, oh, okay, good. My wife tried to check on hers. Not so sure. Some bleep is up on that. But So, why don't we see early results? When do they start telling us, what the results are? I feel like I should know something like this.
I mean, I have no idea.
I want to see if I get to be constable. My wife came over and says, "Hey, I wrote you in for constable." I'm like, I don't know what they do, but great. I'll write me in too. So I got 2 votes. This is probably more votes than most people got for constable. I might be your new constable. I don't know.
And then you,
where
as you
or what.
hastily figure out what it is that a constable does.
I could probably Google it and know what I'm doing by the time I show up for work. You know what? I'll Google it right now.
Yeah, I was like, let me Google that. I'm curious.
Constable. Part of the Arizona justice system. Oh, I get to be a cop. I didn't know you could be elected to be a police officer. Constable is an elected peace officer in Arizona who serves the county justice courts, responsible for a variety of duties, including serving civil and criminal summons and subpoenas. Oh, no. People are never happy when you do that. Orders of protection. Can I serve him to the person who needs protection instead of the guy that they need protection from?
Because it matters a lot.
Writs of execution. What, I hand a paper to the guy, is like, don't make any plans for Thursday. You're gonna die.
This is your final Thursday.
Providing security for justice court hearings and facilities. That doesn't sound like fun. Executing arrest warrants. Why would I execute the arrest warrant? Why don't you just give it to the guy who can actually arrest them? Oh, that would be me.
Yeah, that would be you. Yeah. You'd have a badge and I presume, a firearm of some kind.
It's 4-year term, and then I'll have to meet annual training standards step by.
Oh, we found the hiccup in this problem.
What kind of shape do I need to be in?
We have found the hitch in this particular plan.
To be honest, I've seen plenty of constables in worse shape than me.
I've lived in small towns all across the great state of Tennessee, and I can tell you that I've seen a few sheriffs and constables that could have used a treadmill, maybe.
Here's one thing I don't see on here. Do I get a gun?
That requires more Googling.
I would like to have that supplied to me. I don't want to use my own.
Let's see here. I mean, it says constables are allowed.
Oh, that means you got to buy your own. Allowed means you bring your own from home.
And you can get one from like Randy.
My work tools should be supplied to me.
Especially as an elected official. What does it hurt?
Son of a bitch, I got competition after all.
Shell out a little bit more for a gun.
Glendale Mullet says, my friends wrote me in. I think I got at least 5 votes for constable.
Oh, wow.
Well, you're in Glendale. I'm over here in Queen Creek. Sir Drives a Lot says, won't be home for an hour. Yeah, we were waiting for you.
Well, appreciate you being a listener that whole time.
Yeah. Harry Soap says, ex-football player John David Booty is like Anthony Richardson. Doesn't play like me. His play is the other booty. When I say his play is booty, I guess I could have said his play is ass. Moldy Tuna Fish says, have you seen Barney Fife and Andy Griffith? If Barney Fife can be a constable when Andy was out of town visiting Raleigh, I am sure you're in enough physical shape to serve, Jeffrey. I mean, if you put me up next to Barney Fife, yes.
But that's a low bar to clear.
I'm Jason Bourne at that moment. Ham Sandwich says, if you get elected, Jeffrey, please arrest Matt Eberflus on Sunday while he's in Arizona. Signed, Bears fans.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Just show up at the...
Yeah, I don't even need a reason. Put
Show
the
up at
handcuffs
State Farm.
on him. I'll get on TV. Might be my last day as a constable, but I ain't going to stop me. Come with me, please.
It's not even to give the Cardinals an advantage. Bears fans just want to see him hauled off.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Whistling Gerbil makes a good point. That gun would be a tax write-off. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, that's cool. That means I'll get an extra big one. You get a giant one.
Just constable with a Desert Eagle.
Why not? .50 caliber pistol. Don't park there. I don't even know if that's in my
It's
jurisdiction.
like, I feel like you're talking to me, but your gun is yelling at me, and I don't like that.
My jurisdiction is wherever my American Eagle can point. Right here. That's my jurisdiction. Over there. Over here. Cardinal Art says, lived in Mesa, a.k.a. Mormonville. Never been to Arizona out smoking a cigarette. Guy walks up, gives me a ticket. And I'm like, what? That's what the constable does. Top hat, shorts, high boots, whistle and all.
I don't think any of those things are required for you to be a constable. That might be a Mesa specific thing.
No, he sent me a picture of a policeman officer from England.
Okay.
I'll wear that. I don't even care it's Arizona. I'll still wear it.
Does it come with a monocle?
I get I'll get the dangle outfit from Reno 911 and the hat. Lieutenant Dangle. Big George says, just think, Jeffrey, next time this week, there will be no more political ads and this election will be over. It will be glorious. Well, I guess that depends.
There are some people who are going to have opinions, regardless of which direction we're going.
I'm here for either outcome, to be honest. Either one is interesting to me. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, either way, we are good and screwed. Either way. I say that, and my mom gets upset. She says, that's not true. And I'll be like, without going political here, without getting detailed, when I say something about who she has liked, and I'm like, well, that person's a dirtbag. She's like, oh, it's a good person. No. Let's go back in time. Let's go ahead and look at the past. Let's look at the 70s. Let's look at the 80s. Let's look at the 90s. People get so attached, and they like filter out all the garbage,
which is crazy to me. It's just when I vote for an elected official, I'm like, can you do the job better than the other person you're running against? I don't care about whether or not I like you as a person. Just can you do the job though? Because if we wanted better people, presumably we'd have better people running right now.
I want better people.
I want better people, but
there's never been better people, not for 20 years.
Not enough of us consistently want better people, and that's how we got here.
And that's why you should write me in. Anything and everything, just write me in. Jeffrey O'Brien. Cardinal Art says, I didn't ever pay that ticket, by the way. I hope that constable isn't tuning in. Well, you didn't get anything in the mail. I think you're fine. That person might have been full of crap, actually. All right, let's talk some football again. Sorry, didn't mean to left turn on that one. Oops. Kyle G says, hey, Jeffrey, I work for Maricopa County. Early ballot voting counts are a bit delayed due to an unexpected increase in voters, which is a good thing. Voter turnout super high this year. You thinking the same thing I'm thinking? I'm just picturing all these people with very bleary eyes, bag of Doritos going, let's vote.
Like, can you even see right now? What is going on?
Oh my God. He says, but they're a bit short on volunteers. So it's going to take a while to count the votes. He says also for constables, for Maricopa at least, they do get a gun and a county vehicle. Oh. Well, it's one thing giving me a gun, but
there's another level.
That vehicle, like a rental car.
It's bumpers coming off.
I'm going to catch air. Let's just say that. I will find ways just to see how many times I can catch air with that county vehicle. I'll get that horn, just like the old TV show. Only I'll have an American flag, and I'll be jumping over cricks, canals. Oh, I think I just swallowed my gum. Yep. Moldy tuna fish. Can't read that. I'm not going to go details. Raven Kid says, Jeffrey, can I write you in for all the categories or just one of them? All of them. You can do whatever you want. You can write me in. Write me in for president. If I am elected, I will not serve. No, who am I kidding? Of course I will. Of course I will. Yeah, go ahead. Write me in. I approve this message. I think I have to say that when we talk like this. If you write me in, I approve this message.
Just legally, I guess. Yeah.
There are obviously worse choices than me.
I can think of two of them.
Mm-hmm. Big George says, pump the brakes, Jeffrey. Those Maricopa County vehicles are Dodge Neons, Toyota Yaris's. Think I can't catch air with one? You are sadly mistaken.
That's just a lack of imagination on your part.
I'll have the only Dodge Neon with turbo intakes.
You might want to call.
I'll put a wing on the back. I'll get big tires. I'll work on the suspension in my spare time. Oh man,
call the Guinness people, because you might get more. You might get more air in a Dodge Neon than anyone has ever got. And at that point, it should just be measured and recorded for posterity.
Nobody's looking. I'll start piling up things, make a ramp. You'll see me jump a canal and an intersection diagonally at the same time. It'll be the best thing you ever saw. Oh, I'm definitely a shoo-in to get voted in again. If I do that.
If you got elected a second time, they would hate to see you.
I wish we talked about this sooner. I might have had a chance to actually win. I think a lot of people have already done their ballots. If you haven't done a ballot, please write me in for anything, especially Constable, because then I'll get the Dodge Neon. Hefty Lefty says those Neons and Yaris's, they don't weigh much. That's right. Lighter the vehicle, more air you can get. You're right, Hefty Lefty. There's a couple of things that are universally true. Lighter the vehicle, the more air you get. The tighter the sweater, no, that's something else. Jeffrey, says Kyle G, I work where we service the county cars. Please don't catch air in them. It gets pricey fast.
Like I said,
if
Jeffrey got elected for a second term, they would hate to see him. Oh, this guy again. Oh, the guy that can't stop jumping the Yaris, the county funded Yaris.
Kyle G, you're gonna have fun. Because you'll see how I won't just jump it as is. I'll soup it up a bit first. Then you get to work on that. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I'll give you some parts. I'll help out. Ringless Joe says Cardinals, by the grace of God, are actually on top of their division for now, at least.
Look, if you had said 8 weeks into the season, would the Cardinals be anywhere near the top of this division? I would have told you no. So this is an improvement.
Swave Day says, darn it, Jeffrey. I think I invalidated my ballot because I wrote you in, crossed out president, and I wrote emperor. So I didn't think you'd want to be president.
Well,
you should have done that. But because I could just, when I become president, say, by the way, I'm emperor now. Everybody be like, yeah, that makes sense. Flomo Zo says, I have vision of Buford Justice's car. Fair enough. Can we get back to football?
Yes, please.
So TJ Watt had a hell of a night the other night, didn't he? He had a strip sack in the fourth quarter. And he had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. Had a good game. Solid game for TJ Watt. A lot of fun to watch, actually, when you're paying attention. I mean, I cut away and watched some Suns for a while, came back at halftime, and he was still playing pretty well. I guess, according to Jermaine Illuminor,
I don't know.
Well, he was the guy who was across the line from him, trying to stop him. He was Illuminor. He's a right tackle for the Giants.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard his name said out loud, so I don't.
For whatever reason, he decided to throw some shade. He says, you know what? I was on an island with him for majority of the game. I'm not going to sit here and sing his praises. He says, he didn't do anything for 3.5 quarters. He had 1 impact play. Feel like you had more than 1 impact play when you have 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for a loss.
Yeah, I would say that that's a pretty productive day at the office.
Illuminor is drinking some haterade right there, isn't he?
He's a little salty.
Unclear on the concept. Of course, the huge strip sack. When he did that, guess who he just sort of slinked by without much, much resistance. Illuminor. And yeah, that I don't know what isn't it kind of weird for this guy to start talking like this? Yeah, all he did was one play.
It's a little bit weird, and I gotta
Dude,
say,
wore you down, Illuminor.
One impact play is a lot in a football game. For one player to have, yeah, especially at TJ Watt's position, if you had one impact play a game, you probably win Defensive Player of the Year, which he might do.
Illuminor, your quarterback is bad. He needs about 3 minutes in the pocket. And even that might not be enough. You did not do your job. TJ Watt got to your quarterback, and it was not just once. It was twice. And he had tackles. So don't tell us that TJ Watt didn't do a damn thing. That's the dumbest thing I've heard.
Yeah. Like if you get one strip sack in a game, that's a good day. He had that. He had the other sack. He had you mentioned the two tackles for loss, which also are very useful, I think. I'm not a coach, but I would guess that your coach would rather you have that than any other result. And then just 7 tackles generally. What are we doing? What conversation could we possibly be having here?
You're also 2-6. Just to remind you. It's just a fact.
And your quarterback is one of the most sacked human beings in the league. So that I just think that maybe you should worry about your job.
You ain't doing a damn thing, Illuminor.
Just worry about your job. Eyes on your
big
homework.
old bottle of shut the hell up. I did get a question from our teenager. He turned to me and said, "Is TJ Watt better than JJ Watt?" And at first I was like,
no.
I feel like they weren't the same. Different kind of players.
They're different kinds of players. I mean,
different
comparing
bodies.
them helps that they play the same position. But you go back and watch the peak of JJ. JJ at the top of his prime was not stoppable. He was destroying people every single week. And then once they got him involved in the offense too, I don't know that he had, I forget what season it was. Maybe it was 16, 17. Like you could not stop JJ Watt. You could double him. Didn't exactly work. No, he was unstoppable. TJ's been great, but if Aiden Hutchinson in Detroit didn't get hurt, Aiden Hutchinson's probably winning Defensive Player of the Year. At the peak of JJ Watt, it wasn't even a question. There was no other defensive player in football better than him.
Yeah, and it took TJ a while to ramp up to playing even now the way he does. JJ Watt showed up. Holy crap! TJ Watt, we're like, yeah, he'll come around. And he did. But okay, so yeah, my first response was right. No, I think JJ was probably better.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're remembering JJ who was good with the Cardinals, but Texans JJ,
yeah,
that was a monster that nobody ever actually figured out.
That's also another problem. Not a lot of people watched a lot of Texans football. We knew of JJ Watt, but not a lot of us watched lots of it.
That's fair. There was a lot of bad offense being played on that team at that time. But that was appointment TV for me. JJ Watt's playing, got to watch it. Just simply have to. By the way, TJ was the highest graded player according to Pro Football Focus this past week. So
yeah,
not a damn thing to the tune of just being the best edge rusher in football.
Jermaine Illuminor.
He's just mad. That's
Shut up. Boy, I mean, it's okay to sit there and say you're salty, but to say delusional, dumb ass things.
Yeah.
Here's a delusional dumbass thing. Jeff Ulbrich, the interim head coach of the Jets, he says, yeah. I don't mind we're a quick turnaround. I don't mind we're playing Thursday. It gives the Jets a chance to get a bad taste out of our mouth. Do you really think that's what's going to happen? That bad taste is going to continue to be in your mouth.
Well, he can't say that, though. Like,
Aaron Rodgers,
we're going to lose again. That's not.
Aaron Rodgers is the bad taste in your mouth. Stupidity from the upper management is that taste in your mouth. Your record being 0-3 is the bad taste in your mouth. I mean, they fired Robert Saleh wrong time. Wrong time.
Mhm. And I'm just saying they fired Robert Saleh and they haven't won a game
You
since.
lost to the Patriots.
They traded for Devontae Adams and they haven't won a game since.
You will not get a good taste. It's not happening on Thursday. It's not happening. I mean, Texans have their own struggles.
Yeah.
But they are better than you. D'Amico Ryan is better than you. Their team is better than yours. I wish I had the Texans defense
The Jets
almost.
are sorry.
Oof. Ringless Joe says Jameis Winston is the real deal. He might lead the Browns back to victory this season. Just a great guy all around. Okay, no. Not a great guy.
Might have been a really good football player that particular day. Great guy is where I can't go with you.
You went too far. Jameis Winston, real deal? Maybe. Might lead the Browns back to victory this season? Possibly. Great guy? No. He groped an Uber driver. There's a lot going on there. We gotta and there's stuff from the past too.
Yeah,
But
stole a bunch of crab legs from a grocery store, Publix.
That I can give him a pass. It's like
I can give him a pass, but it's just like
college.
He just thought it was free, grabbed a bunch of them, and walked out.
Well, football players getting away with a lot.
Yeah.
Latina Leprechaun says, I'd be sick too if I put anything from Aaron Rodgers in my mouth. Wait, what? No, that's not what that means. Shame on you.
I expected that from Moist One. That from you. Wow. No. Ooh, wow. No.
Ringless Joe says, I thought that was Deshaun Watson. Nope. Deshaun Watson, he was stuck with the massage therapists and potential first dates. Jameis Winston in Scottsdale, by coincidence, groped an Uber driver. So that's a true story. Chosen One says, I got to watch JJ in Madison when he played for the Badgers. Oh, he was a beast in college as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. True story. We are very late for a break. Let's do that. And we'll come back and talk more football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
NFL Week 9, the New York Jets will be home at MetLife Stadium on Thursday night. A Halloween matchup with the Houston Texans. The Jets have lost 5 in a row. They are 2-6. The Texans did lose wide receiver Stephon Diggs for the season. They are 6-2 on top of the AFC North. The Jets are a 2-point home favorite, -130 on the money line, while the Texans are +110. The over-under sits at 42.5. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only unbeaten team in the NFL, and they are the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl at +375. Baltimore is at +600. The Detroit Lions, best record in the NFC, also +600 to win the Super Bowl in New Orleans. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
There's a wolf on the loose in Arizona. Its name is Ruben Gallego. Ruben's got quite a body count, a real wolf in wolf's clothing. Ask his ex-wife. He left her for a DC lobbyist. She got pregnant, and he divorced her just days before she was due. Ask anyone who's done business with Ruben, from the immigrants he swindled out of their life savings to that ambulance company he helped run. You know, the one that filed for bankruptcy and had to pay $2.8 million for Medicare fraud when he left. Or you can ask grieving families. After a mass shooting, Gallego told them, "F your prayers." He also said he would have killed American protesters on January 6th. Well, now he's coming for you. Gallego wants to unlock your borders to violence, drugs, and sex trafficking. He voted in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi. He wants to vote that way again for Kamala. You can't let that happen. Don't be his next victim. Stand up and say hell no to Ruben Gallego.
I'm Carrie Lake, and I approve this message.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Well, this is interesting. I lost my internet during the break. But thankfully, being able to hotspot my phone and use a cell card that we have with this equipment, I'm still here. Do I sound okay, or am I?
No, you sound clear.
Really?
Crystal clear.
Up yours, Cox Internet. Let me just say that right now. Cox Communications, you suck to the largest extreme of suckage. Well, whatever. Here we are. We're back and making sure that Bite My Kebab, making sure, because I got to get his full name too. I was trying to send him the tickets for the Phoenix Raceway, and it says, "Hey, what's his name?" I'm like, "Oh, Bite My Kebab." They're like, "That's not a real name." I'm like, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. And then I lost the internet. So Latina Leprechaun says, "I'm sorry, I'm slowly learning that you and the listeners like raunchy jokes, so I thought I would slip it in." My bad, she says. No, you're fine, girl. You're fine. Nicely done. You're fine. Slow-mo Zoe says, your first job as constable should be looking into unpaid tickets. I'm not going to do that. I'll do as constable. I'll drive around and take tickets off of. No, that's worse, because then they still have the ticket. They just don't know about it. Next thing you know, they got a warrant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny a little bit, but I won't do that. I won't do that either. Ringless Joe says, "Dang, I didn't know that about Jameis. He seemed like such a nice guy in the post-game interview." Oh, yeah, a little bit of a checkered past. I mean, just that one thing where he took Trump's advice and grabbed an Uber driver by the kitty. So I don't know if that's why he did it. I don't know why he thought it was okay to do that, but yes.
I actually think it was before Trump said that. So really, James was just getting ahead of the curve.
Oh, I don't know if that was before that.
I thought it was.
What year was that? The Jet says, "Why is it we can only hear Keon?" For real?
I don't know. I can hear you just fine.
Look at the mixer. Am I coming through on both things there? Everything okay? All right.
Yeah.
Don't know, Jet. Let's see. Bite My Kebab says, "How old are you?" And then I'll put my aging in. Oh, I asked him how old he was too. Yeah, you know why I asked Bite My Kebab how old he was? Because he has a net zero email account. I'm like, damn, how old are you for that?
Wow. Vintage.
Ask everybody, can they hear me?
Can you guys hear Jeffrey? Because he sounds great to me. He's coming across everything just fine. But
George says, "Jeffrey, you're sounding loud and clear on my end." Okay, well, you're online, so let's see if people listening to the radio can hear me.
Because that kind of matters a little more.
Yeah, I mean, we are a radio station.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
Well, I'm going to guess that people can hear me. And I'm going to do the injury report. Screaming Ghost says, we can hear you. That dude's trolling.
okay. That's what I figured. I was
You
like,
son of a bitch.
you sound crystal clear to me. Like, what other way would people not be able to hear you?
Thank you, Screaming Goat. Glendale Mullet says, we can hear Jeffrey just fine on the old radio. Slow-Mo Zoe says, I can hear him. Raven Kid says, Jeffrey, we can hear you just fine. You got one guide. Yeah, one guy said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do the injury report real fast. I know that a lot of you are probably ahead of me on this just because you're fantasy football players. If these guys are yours, you already know. But for everyone else, let's just go ahead and go through this. Montez Sweat was out of practice on Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
He's a defensive end, and it really doesn't matter to me. But I just want to talk about. Well, go ahead.
If the Bears are playing the Cardinals, it's going to matter to people who are rooting for the Cardinals.
Is he that big a deal?
Yeah, he's their best defensive player.
Ooh, this it bodes well for the Cardinals.
Montez Sweat is a great player.
Historian says old is an AOL account. Radio Ron has one.
Oh my God. No. Don't put him on blast.
Hey, I got a Yahoo. I got a Yahoo.
Yahoo's not that bad. I got a Yahoo too.
Yahoo's a millennial thing or a Generation X thing. But AOL, that's Netscape, I think, has got to be the oldest. I don't know. Clay Nigma says, Jeffrey, it's as if you're sitting in the car next to me. Dude, roll in the window if you're going to do that. All right. So the only reason I even brought up Montez Sweat, I wasn't even thinking about the Cardinals. But now you make a good point that will have an effect. I was just like, kind of coming back to the, well, why would somebody at some point say, let's change our last name? Why do you want your last name to be Sweat? I thought that about Keith Sweat too.
I think
the musician.
Over the time, you just get used to it. Like it's just your name. You just can't imagine having another one. So that's your name.
If my last name was Sweat, I can imagine having another name.
And
that would not be a stretch for me.
He was in an Old Spice commercial. He made money from having the last name Sweat.
Everybody's like, hey, what's up, Sweaty? Okay. Aren't you funny?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People make fun of your name. It's no fun. It's no fun when people make fun of your name.
Yeah, but I mean, Montez, have you seen Montez Sweat? The man is 6'6", 262 pounds. You're not going to make fun of Montez Sweat in front of Montez Sweat.
You were not always 6'6" and 200 whatever pounds.
Yeah, but
there was a point in your life, your kids are not going to be that tall. Give them a break and change the damn name. Somewhere along the line, they should have changed the name from Sweat.
Like he wasn't always, but at 6'6", 260, like you have been bigger than everyone for most of your life.
It's not a proud name. Or at least change the spelling. Go back to the original origination, which was Suet, S-U-E-T. I don't know what that means. Something French.
I don't know either. I don't know. People
probably just means sweat.
Just get used to the name, and you're in a long line of people with your name. They managed to survive having it. You can survive just fine too.
Like a boy named Sue.
Like a boy named Sue.
The old song. I don't know. I think I feel like I could get through life being tough enough. I don't need a name like that to. I don't need to start fighting my way out of places.
I think most people get that it's just a last name. Like once you leave like 7th grade, I don't know. It's just not that funny.
It's not about funny. I just feel bad for him. It's like something else. Sweet.
Yeah,
just
like
change it because it's a variation of sweet. Change the A to an E. Now you're Montez Sweet. Even more possibilities for campaigns with Sweet.
Yeah, maybe, but
Sweat. You got one thing: deodorant. Sweet could be anything.
If it bothered him that bad, he'd do it. It just clearly doesn't. So
I'm the worst person, I guess, right now. I'm bothered for him.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers for Amari Cooper. He missed practice. He's got a wrist injury. Keep an eye on that. You just got him on the Bills, and now he's got a little something going there. It might be all right. Christian Kirk, not so all right. Out for the season with a fractured collarbone. I think the Jaguars know that. You know that. And boy, he just can't get a break there. Stephon Diggs out for the season, torn ACL. You can give up on that guy. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
You were close. Owusu Koromoa. Yeah.
Close.
JOK.
By the way, the paper was on its side like this when I was trying to read it. I was trying to turn it.
Impressive.
So that's
even more
Owusu
impressive.
Koromoa. Anyway, that fella from the Browns, he went to the hospital, but he's out of the hospital now. He had a neck injury on Sunday. They took him out on a board.
Oh,
but he says
scary.
All is well. Alamadulia. Well, what's the other part?
Okay, I don't know what that means. Now
Alhamdulillah.
You
I think he's trying to say something in like Allah Akbar kind of thing.
I couldn't tell you. I that is not a phrase I recognize.
I think he's praising God somehow.
I will stay out of it.
I have no idea. Oh, I'm not trying to make fun of it.
Oh no,
I'm just saying that's what he said. All is well, so he's all right.
All right, good for him.
It's a lot of letters in that word. That's a Scrabble winner.
You might
Scrabble winner. Right
file
there.
that away for later.
I don't think you're going to get that many letters.
I don't think so. Or is anybody going to ever set you up for specifically that word?
It's also might be a proper name. Oh, proper names, you can't use them.
That's
Scrabble. So,
true.
All right. So he's out of the hospital. The MRI on Jordan Love. He avoided major groin injury. Remember we talked about this. So he went up to the MRI, stuck his groin in, and they took a look at it. That's how I pictured it. Don't take that away from me.
It is a funny mental image. It just
that's a big hole right there. Why not take advantage? But yes, he avoided major groin injuries, but I don't know if he's going to play. Is there any word on that yet? Any word on if Jordan Love is going to play? I don't know if he's even practiced yet. If he practiced today, then that gives you hope for Sunday. If he didn't practice today, there's only so many more days left.
Yeah, he did not practice today. The Thursday practice is big. The Thursday practice is big. If you don't practice Thursday and you don't practice Friday, you're probably not playing Sunday.
See, I've already done my picks. I don't usually do them this early, but I did them today. And I did not pick the Green Bay Packers. I'm not picking them either way, probably.
Let's see. They've got the Lions. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're playing the Lions.
No, I think that's a safe Detroit.
Either way.
Yeah.
Probably either way.
But definitely not now.
So remember when Chris Godwin, if you were like going to, they try to teach you how to dance and they put the little footsteps on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his has one foot going the wrong way. Well, now they've surgically turned that foot back around and they're like, okay, let's see how long it takes them to heal. And Chris Godwin says, best case scenario, he says, maybe I could be back for the playoffs. That's what they're telling him. Might make it back for the playoffs.
If my foot did that, I'm out for the year. I'm not.
Buccaneers are 4-4. I don't know if the postseason is a gimme for them.
It's not a gimme, but they also play in the NFC South where they could probably, if they're just a game above 500, they could probably win that division.
Yeah, I guess all you need to do, right? That's all you need to do. So Chris Godwin, boy, he does want to be back. He does want to be back.
He's a competitor.
But hopefully he heals up and everything works out. Mike McDonald is feeling pretty optimistic that DK Metcalf could return this week. I don't know yet. He hasn't practiced yet. Last time I looked.
Yeah.
Did he practice today? Maybe he practiced today. But the Seahawks really need him this week. They really need him every week. But if he didn't practice, again, that starts to become even more iffy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he practiced today.
I hate to make you keep looking up people. How about Derek Carr? Because Derek Carr was supposed to practice today. Saints are hoping to have him back under center. They lost 6 games in a row. They need to desperately do something. I don't know why they didn't throw in Hill. Why didn't they throw Hill in there? Taysom Hill. I don't know.
Because Dennis Allen is not as in love with Taysom Hill as a quarterback as Sean Payton was. Like Sean Payton
be
was
in love with him.
Sean,
you got nothing else.
The two guys that they have are better quarterbacks than Taysom Hill.
No, I'm sure you're right.
You know,
I'm sure you're right.
They're both young. One's a second-year player and one's a rookie, but you'd still rather take the upside that those guys have over what Taysom Hill is going to give you. Because only Sean Payton believed that Taysom Hill was a quarterback. He was fun. He was fun.
He was fun. Yeah. Zach Taylor says T. Higgins, don't make any plans. We're taking that one day to day. We'll see what happens there. Christian McCaffrey has hit it pretty hard this week, according to people saying, "Oh yeah, he really wants to get back. He's on track, but no setbacks." But we're gonna simulate some practice stuff and that kind of thing. But he ain't gonna play this week. They're just still working on it.
I mean, that's when you start dealing with that kind of injury, you go ahead and take as much time as you need. Derek Carr, by the way, did not practice this week. So Thursday's usually the big day. So we'll see. If you haven't practiced by Thursday, good chance you're not playing Sunday.
Bat Flipper says Ralph will never hear the end of it if the Yankees come back. Looks like the series is coming back to LA. We're not talking about that right now. So let's see. I know I'm running late. Cowboys, their defensive end, Sam Williams, he got suspended 3 games for personal conduct. He was reckless driving back in August of 2023. I don't know why it took the NFL this long to finally suspend him 3 games, but he has been suspended.
That's a little odd.
He's on season-ending injured reserve, tore an ACL and MCL, so the suspension shouldn't be in effect until
when he's
back.
able to play. Yeah. Otherwise, what are you suspending him from the IR?
I don't know. That's the injury report.
Only if it's a without pay kind of deal. That's the only way that makes any sense.
Beer Bob says Christian McCaffrey hit it really hard this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not reading the rest of that. Because you know what it's going to be about.
Yeah, we know.
And we're going to move on. Thanks, Beer Bob. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife.
Or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Well, maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
1580, The Fanatic.
Mouthful of M&M's right here. Ah. 888-368-1580. That's the number. This is the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I don't know. We can talk a little more football if we want.
I mean, I never say no to that. So
Hassan Reddick is mad at Bill Belichick now.
Why?
Well, because Bill Belichick, I guess, was on the Pat McAfee, and he says Reddick came in the game and just ran by the quarterback multiple times.
Okay, is that not an accurate description of what happened?
Mm-hmm. Created lanes for scrambling by the Patriots quarterbacks. So his angle of attack just wasn't quite correct, was it?
Part of your job is, setting the edge. So,
yeah. And so for him to look at that and say it, he said it like it was. He was right. I mean, my son at his football game last week when I was gone on Friday, he's playing both sides of the ball, but when he's playing safety, he's gotten interceptions, and they have a great defense, and he's a big part of that. And he missed one tackle. And I saw it coming. I'm like, no, your angle's wrong. And whoop, just barely missed the fingertips, right? And he got yelled at for it. And it's like, he was like, I get yelled at for that, but everything else I did good. Like they forgot that when they yelled at me. Well, because that was glaringly, obviously a bad decision on your part. You get your flowers. You did. Everybody would say, hey, great game. Oh my God. And then, your stat sheet showed it. But that one right there left a lot of people scratching their heads. Like, how did he miss that?
And look, mistakes.
Your angle of attack was wrong. Well, that was one for my son, and he was a learning experience, and he's like, all right. But Hassan Reddick kept doing it. He kept having a wrong angle of attack, and his speed was not correct. He's and the next thing you know, he didn't get a hand on the quarterback. The quarterback ran right through.
Yeah.
So when that happens, people are going to notice, and they're right to call you out for it.
Yeah, especially if it's all speed rush and you're not, you're supposed to have a counter move of if I'm going outside and I realize I'm going to be, I'm going to take a bad angle. We've seen guys this season, TJ Watt, talked about him earlier, Aiden Hutchinson before he got hurt. They're able to spin back inside and basically reestablish the correct lane in the first place. Hassan Reddick didn't do that. That's, that's part of your job, is being able to make that happen. And if you can't do that, if you don't have that, then guess what? You need to, you can't allow your speed rush to have you overrun the play.
Seems like maybe somebody could have used more practice.
Yeah. Almost like a half-season long holdout is got you a little rusty. Can't imagine who that would be.
Yeah, I get it. It's business. But here you are. But yeah, that's not angry, mean, hateful criticism. It's an accurate observation of what was going on with you, and you need to correct it. But instead of looking inward, he looked outward and says, someone called Bill Belichick and give him a job. Seems like he's home bored and can't keep me out of his mouth. Dude, you'd be lucky to have his attention in any kind of a positive way that you could learn from.
Yeah. I don't know. Hassan Reddick I wouldn't want him on my team. As talented as he is, and he is very talented, there's just the ability to hear from one of the great defensive minds who just is like, hey, look, you were not doing this correctly. And he said it about as matter of factly as he could have said, you were wearing a white jersey with green stripes on it. Like that, it's that factual. It wasn't ever personal. Don't have to take it personally. It was never meant to be that. It's not like he was saying you were being stupid. Just you took a bad angle. You did, and the Patriots took advantage of it because they did.
Even if there are historical reasons for Bill Belichick to be salty towards the Jets, he was evaluating you as a singular player and absolutely right. So, yeah, take it, learn from it, keep your mouth shut because you never know when someone might end up your coach. You never know how that's going to play with your own current coaches who are like, yeah, he was right.
Yeah, and if they're worth anything in the film room, they told you this already. Like this shouldn't be a surprise to you.
Ringless Joe has a text. He's saying, well, okay, will Deshaun Watson return for the season or is it Jameis the whole way? It's Jameis the whole way now.
Yeah,
the injury, yeah, you don't come back from that till next season around this time. And I don't know that Deshaun Watson will be back because he played horribly leading up to this. But he says, which quarterback has more upside? Neither. I mean, Jameis at this moment seems to have the most upside. He says, yeah, they both have one win, but I think Winston has the support of the locker room more than Watson. You really are wasting your time. Watson will not be the quarterback of this team. And to be honest, neither will Jameis Winston. You will have, if you are a Browns fan, a new quarterback.
Maybe. And I only say that because of the amount of money that they chose to pay him, all of which is guaranteed. He is because of the money that they moved around to try and, keep him from actually suffering the consequences of his own actions. He's going to be a $72 million cap hit next year. He's going to be $72 million the year after that.
Good. They get what they have coming to them. The Browns got down in the dirt with a dirty, dirty person, and they're getting dirty. And Browns fans, Browns team, Browns everything that supported Deshaun Watson and this team after all the bad that he did, you get what you get. Right now, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1966, Johnny Unitas, the Baltimore Colts man with a golden arm and arguably the greatest passing quarterback in NFL history, threw for 250 yards to break Y.A. Tittle's record with the New York Giants as the all-time passing leader. I don't want to read the rest because the rest is about him on another team. Johnny Unitas, towards the end of his career, left the Colts and went to the Chargers. But, I mean, most of the yards he got were with the Colts. So he was the first player to top 40,000 yards through the air,
which is
Johnny Unitas.
Pretty damn cool for that era of football.
Yeah. He did that in 1973. Problem was he was with the Chargers when he did it, and I don't want to talk about that. It's like I don't want to talk about Peyton with the Broncos. I still feel that. So Clay Nigma says Jameis Winston was excused from prosecution for sexually assaulting, nice way to say rape, right? A woman in college because he was going to win the Heisman Trophy, which seems to be the equivalent of possessing diplomatic immunity. That's right. Forgot about that one. So I guess there's a couple of them on his. No wonder him and Deshaun Watson got along so well.
Yikes.
Browns doing Browns things, I guess. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's the end of the show.
Yep. And the only joy that you get is that the Browns are taking a $27 million cap hit this year for Deshaun Watson to not play football for them.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, were you even born in 73, Jeffrey? Oh, wait. And then, boy, there's a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. I missed your earlier text. Oh, no, that was at 2:30.
It might have been when your internet did whatever.
No. It was at 2:30 when he was talking to you about Williams.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I was born in 1970. I was not a Colts fan until 1981, 82. But I can read. I read a lot about Johnny Unitas. He was the man. When they're great like that, I don't like when they go to other teams.
It always
You know?
feels like they should retire the jersey they started with.
Mm-hmm. But no, Peyton's got a half Colts, half Broncos jersey because he got a Super Bowl with both of them.
Tom
Brady. We'll talk about him. All right, guys. See you tomorrow, 3 p.m. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for